Get ready.
Have you ever wanted to refinance your mortgage but didn't want to start a new 30-year loan all over again? Hey, it's
my wife
for my friends in
is a
American
nurse
Financing.
and comes home with a pocket full of pens every day and a pocket full
to
of
eliminate mortgage insurance, lower your rate,
numbing stuff.
consolidate high interest debt, you don't have to worry about resetting your loan term.
You numb the vein before you put the IV in.
We go to haircutter. Oh, you shaved, Tom.
Oh, I thought he looked really different. I was looking at him and trying to figure out what it was. I didn't figure out what it was. I knew he looked different. You look a lot younger, man. Doesn't he?
28.
He does look a lot younger.
It just takes one call to their salary-based mortgage consultant.
It's a summer look.
Options and will customize the right
Well, I started to grow that grody-looking homeless thing that I was growing.
10 days. So get started now.
My wife finally said, how are you?
Hang in there.
My wife finally put a halt to it and she said I look just like Ziggy. Ziggy's my crazy sister's goat.
I do not hate being a mom. But my cycle specifically makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all the shows will be available next theater.
Whenever we get a chance, if possible,
jam onto the radio.
we're having an HOA town hall meeting tomorrow. We just
Hey mom, what was
make
that
it work.
That's it. Tomorrow.
I have it tomorrow at 6 to 9 p.m. at the Aurora Central Library. And open, of course, to the public, and information on our website, which is www.coloradohoaforum.com. Thank you.
You got a good HOA?
I have a pretty good HOA, but the reason this organization was started is because they were bad, or not responsible to the law.
Yeah, there seems to be a real mix.
We just get the worst, though.
Well, we get all the calls on trouble. Oh, where do I go here? I lost track. I didn't see.
It's like
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Get your calls in if you need help, information, referrals. Someone has lied to you, cheated you, ripped you off. You need just information. Give us a call. 303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by SimplyFloorsInc.com. If you're looking to save money this entire show, one of the themes is saving money. Another theme is protecting yourself. Another theme is fighting back, getting even. Whatever we need to do for you, we're here. 303-713-TALK. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live on KHOW Radio, and in Denver, our flagship, and we have in Colorado Springs, KRDO Radio. Simply Floors, Inc. for savings.
I talked to him
40,
over the weekend.
50. Buddy Mitchell, what did he say?
I got to tell you, it's the funniest story real quick. His neighbor went to buy new carpet. His neighbor went to Home Depot, got upset if something went wrong, called up Buddy to say, what should I do? The first question out of Buddy's mouth was,
why didn't you come?
Why didn't you buy it from me? She goes, I had the perception you were much higher because you have the designer services and everything.
And you're a single, you're a little guy.
And the reality was he was 35% cheaper. No deal because it was a neighbor, same prices as everybody. So she ended up buying it. But isn't it funny how perception it can be so wrong?
Some small people, some small businesses are more expensive. Buddy Mitchell is not. He'll save you money every time. He takes less profit. He's a direct dealer to the manufacturers through a buying group, just like the big guys. And he has all the major floor coverings, laminates, hardwoods. He has carpeting, waterproof carpet, all of the greatest. 52nd Ward, he has a showroom. You can make your own appointments at SimplyFloorsInc.com. Welcome to the show. Let's go to the phones. Today we're talking about anything you want, and we do have a person we call Stan, the HOA man. Stan is a guy that just took it upon himself years ago to take on some HOAs. He just didn't like the way they were operating, and he started the Colorado HOA Forum, and it's ColoradoHOAForum.com. Then he has an open town meeting tomorrow night, 6 to 9. They don't sell anything. He's just there to help. And if you have any questions on HOAs, give us a call. One thing I would like to ask, does anyone enjoy going to a graduation? I think it's the most dreadful thing you can ever do.
How about your own kids, though?
No, I think it's dreadful. first of all, there's not one of them less than 2 hours. No one should have to sit 2 hours.
Don't tell me that.
But Deputy Clint, I think he's lying. He said there's one that lasted 5 hours. I'm sorry. No one in the world can make me sit 5 hours.
We sat at CU watching a friend for 5 hours at that football field in Boulder. Yep, about 2 years ago.
5 hours? Who the hell can sit 5 hours? I don't care if it's college. I don't care where they're graduating from. 5 hours? Come on, Clint. What high school was 5 hours?
Ralston Valley, and they're at the Coors Vet Center.
Come on,
a vet center.
Ralston, and he said, and I got to check this out. I don't think. Look, we can have a friendly discussion. He said there were 104 valedictorians. That's impossible.
I thought there's one.
Well, if there's a tie, sometimes there's two. But 104 valedictorians out of a class?
How's that possible?
It is not possible.
I call BS.
Me too, but not intentional. I think
Tom Martino.
Hello? Okay. So here's what I think. Ralston Valley High School, is that what it's called? He says 104 valedictorians. Now, I think that is impossible. Come on. They might have been what do they call that? Cum laude and magnum cum laude.
Kumbaya.
No. Those are guys, a certain number. If you have 3.5 and above, 3.9 and above, 4 point something and above. But were they actually called valedictorians? Because I'm going to call BS on it. We need to call
on the program. They're called valedictorians.
104 valedictorians.
104 out of 500.
And they all gave a speech. I don't believe it.
I bet them lunch. Do it. Do it.
No, they didn't all make speeches, but there was.
Who made the speech then? Why did only
valedictorians?
one
And they had. I don't know.
Wait, if there's 104 valedictorians, who gave the speech?
Some of them, but I don't know particularly which ones it was. By that time,
maybe they had a super valedictorian.
By that time, I was in a stupor.
No, in a stupor, I would have hung myself. How do you sit for 5 hours? Now,
actually, I didn't because I had to leave at noon to go out to get my meds, and they didn't let me back in.
Good excuse. I would have feigned a heart attack or something, but
I would have claimed I had to go get a root canal.
Come on, man. 5 hours. Come on. I want some graduation stories. But here's what I truly want to know. Were there 104 valedictorians. See, I couldn't be a valedictorian if I said 104. You wouldn't believe how many people say numbers wrong. It's 104. The only time there's an and is when there's a decimal, but people don't know that. I digress. Anyway, 104 valedictorians.
I see you've been listening to me a lot when it comes to grammar.
Yes, I have. Paul, what's happening with you, Paul?
Well, Tom, I just happened to be at that RV graduation.
You were not.
I was.
Come on, Paul.
3.5 hours. It started at 10:30.
It was how many hours?
It's 3 hours. It was 3 hours. It started at 10:30. It was over around 1:30.
Okay, so we got him on 5 hours. It was 3 hours. That's a 2-hour exaggeration. Were there 104 valedictorians?
Seems about right.
Come on. Did they call them valedictorians?
They sure did.
What? How do you have 104?
Because everybody's special these days. You know this. Every team's a winner.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Paul, were you really there?
I was really there. I'm telling you, we had one of the great things that happened was we had a parking lot party out in the back of the event.
You tailgated. I can't believe you tailgated.
We got there 2 hours early. And we barbecued afterwards. We stayed 2 hours late. Not one bit of traffic. It was phenomenal.
Anyways, tell me about your furnace.
Okay, so here, this can be a warning to brand new homeowners here.
Yeah.
And I built a house 3 years ago, and I've done a number of fix and flips. I've done a number of real estate things like you have.
Yeah.
One of the things that has never been told to me is don't let your contractors and your builders run your in-home heater.
You're right. And they do it. They do it all the time.
It's crazy because the secondary heat exchanger got clogged. It
Uh-huh.
caused flooding. My furnace flooded. It was a brand new 92%.
If you move into a home, your furnace, if it was run during the drywalling to keep it warm, if your furnace is used and not these external heaters that they bring in, these standalone heaters, it will cut your furnace by 1/3 of its life.
Just from the drywall dust?
It'll take 1/3 of its life away.
Everything. Sawdust, drywall dust, everything.
Everything. In fact, you should never run, if the furnace is installed during building, which it often is, it should be covered and not used until the entire house and duct system has been cleaned.
3-year-old furnace.
Dead, right?
Furnace.
Dead.
It's history. I have to replace it.
I'd go after the builder. Was it a new builder?
Would you really?
Yes, I would.
Why?
Because I think they used it and destroyed it and didn't clean it. I'd make the argument, especially if you could pull out the guts or something. You know, Fix It 24/7, they do that $39 check. They go to new homes because they say the new homes are the worst ones. If you've been living in that home a few months, if you have a new home and it was just built, don't take the builder's word for it. Have it cleaned. Have it disassembled and cleaned, and they do that for $39. In fact, if you have a home 5 years or newer, 5 years or newer, up to 5 years. I'll let this special today. Fix It 24/7, $39. They'll go in and clean your AC or your furnace. I suggest you have your furnace done because I'd have them both done. I don't know if they can do them both for $39, but let's say $39 for either, and I would have the furnace done if you just moved in 5 years or newer. I'm just going to put out this special. In fact, how about both of them? Let's say 39. How about 69 for both? Okay, now you can tell him I said this. I'm going to email him.
He's going to get you on that one.
Well, Tom, let me fill you in on what else happened. So
by the way, fixmyhome.com. Let me just tell people 720-526-3939. I'm going to tell them right now. Go ahead. What's happening? Tell me what you want to say because I think you can go after them.
The other thing what he recommended was what's called a deep cleaning, which is like $1,000.
Well, yeah, but you can have that done for $39 right now. Call them.
Well, the deep cleaning, they actually are pulling the heat exchangers out and cleaning them. Like, I don't know if they'll do it for $39. I'm having them coming out today.
Yeah, they will.
But so you think I have an argument?
I think you do.
The contractor.
Let them check it. Let them check it and tell you what killed it. And yes, I do think you have an argument. If it's brand new and they threw, I would call it negligent that they did sawdust and drywall dust and never had it cleaned.
And have Fix It 24 write up a report after they clean it, what they found in there.
Now, here's what I'm doing. 5 years or newer, if you have a furnace or an AC, you want both done. $59.95. You think I should go higher? No, I already said it. I can't go higher. How about this? $59.95 for the combo. The first 10, or air or heat for $39.
And call before it gets hot because man, that deal will go away.
So 10 each. Furnace 10, air conditioner 10, and new houses 5 years or less 10. And the combo is 10. The only 10 of you. So just call. I'm going to advise them right now. So here's the number. I want to give it to you because we have to do this for newer homes. 720-526-3939. It's only for homes 5 years and newer. $39 for the furnace or $39 for the air or $59.95 for both 5 years or newer. Okay? That's what we're going to do. 720-526-3939. They want to be your company. And they want you to, you call them for everything. 303-713-8255. We got more coming right up.
It was 5 hours because we had to be there an hour early taking a graduate. He just said 3. I know the ceremony was 10:30 to 1:30. We had to be there at 9:30 because we had a graduate stuff.
To you by LifeLock.
Make sure we mention referral as well.
So we were there 5 hours. And you can look forward to that on Wednesday.
No, we got 300 kids.
Oh, mine's only 300.
Yeah.
You probably only have 70.
Isn't that nuts? Isn't that the craziest thing ever, though?
Everybody's a winner, buddy.
Yeah. Come on, what are you trying to do? Keep the man down?
Yeah, you're trying to keep the man down.
Yeah, I've got the.
Tell him, Dan. Praise the Lord.
What is the little booklet you get? The little booklet you get when you go in.
The fucking brochure.
Brochure or whatever it is. Anyway.
Yours is called the fucking brochure.
Yeah.
It's right on the front.
It's got them listed, and I'm sitting there looking at that saying, wait a minute, that's a misprint.
104. Excuse me, 104. I'm starting to pull a Martino. I'm going to write a book on diction and reflection. I can't believe my parents are going to be in town.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's the first grandkid.
I haven't seen him for so long, bro.
You might not recognize him.
God, I never know, man. Sometimes my dad drops like a ton of weight.
My mom seems to say about steady her whole life, but
last time I was here, we were talking about a proxy. I don't know if you remember that. You were saying,
yes, of course.
Well, we had a case on that, and we caught, I don't know what they're going to do with the elections, but the proxies are not renewed, and that's what swayed the election.
Now, proxies have to be renewed.
Generally speaking, they're good for
I
11
wanted to
months
see you.
and have to
Now,
be
granted, we
renewed.
got there before the
And
ceremony.
of course,
We
they can be
spent
specific or general, the director or
at least
general.
4 hours in that damn
But
thing.
in this election that was lost by 2
They
votes,
went by
I
sections.
had them
They
go
don't
in
do the whole
and
college.
verify.
No,
They
they
do
did, they went by sections
of
big
the
time.
proxies.
Well, I mean, like,
No,
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 they
they,
have the-
no, they did it right
And
there.
there
Like
was
the medical
a couple
school
dozen.
all went,
Oh, okay.
and then after the medical school,
Where
the
do they
law school all
Go to
went.
challenge that, that's a whole
There
other
was the
issue.
doctorates
That's something people
first.
should be aware of.
I'm trying to think how.
Did you have some time
It
frame,
just, the
though?
whole thing was there.
Did you have some time for, because
Well, probably where we screwed up, we probably should have came later in after
that's
the doctorate.
well, that's what we should have done, but we had to bring the graduate.
You screw up and you blame
No,
Boulders.
I didn't screw up.
That's the
There
point.
is-
The security going into that course of
That's Boulder's main revenue.
that course event center.
What's wrong with that?
What did you put in the subject heading, response to what?
Response
When you can bring
to
first.
something inquiring. What is it?
Okay, I will. I'll tell you exactly what I put.
You couldn't have anything but your car keys and your wallet. Belt buckles were too big.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
Response to request for investigation.
Everything's good.
That's exactly what it said on the
And then
thing.
anything
It wasn't an
that had
investigation,
something in
it was
had
a
to be-
request
they
for
have
it to
metal
follow.
detectors. Yeah, oh yeah, metal detectors, they have what they call a clear bag.
But that's what it says on
Anything
top of that
carried in
paperwork
your
we have.
purse Has to be clear.
Welcome to the USA.
That's gonna be the next thing, is there's gonna be a school shooting at graduation.
Ooh, what's that? Put ideas out there.
You don't think those ideas are out there?
Yeah, I know. There's nothing that hasn't been thought of.
I don't know how the hell they'd get in there. Man, we couldn't get, went back for
How'd this fucking kid in Texas get into school with a shotgun? That is fucking mind-blowing to me. Not just in the school, all the way into his class.
I found out, I just heard this morning, there was 2 armed guards in that school.
Yeah, but the guy said there's like 50 doors in and out.
Oh,
So 2 armed guards are covering
They
2
were
doors tops. They have armed guard. Well, no. The cop, the resource officer is always armed. But the security guards, like at Ponderosa, they're not armed. Or they might have stun guns or
They
shit.
can be even armed, but if they're cowards, it doesn't matter.
God, that was the craziest video ever. What'd you run for? I was on a fishing trip.
I'm retiring, got this big fishing trip coming up. Do I want to get shot? No.
I heard Krispy Kremes moving down the street.
That's funny, you looked it up, and you said coward was the very first thing.
Dude, if you Google coward till this day, that's the first news stuff that comes up as him. And
Hi, Tom Martino here.
In the theme of saving you money, we did Fix It 24/7, the first 10 callers. If you have a 5-year house or newer, on that furnace clean or air clean or both, combination. And by the way, we did Simply Floors Inc. to save you money on floor coverings, and now Absolute Radon Safety to save you money on testing for radon. Tests start at around $20. You can go higher for more detailed testing. If radon is important to you, the more important thing is they can mitigate it. If you got a high number in a home inspection, whether you're buying or selling, you can mitigate about 85 to 90% of those problems for just $899. They put a price on it because they don't want you to panic when you hear high radon numbers. They can mitigate it and get it back to normal. And listen to this. Sometimes they can't for $899, but even in the more difficult cases, it's just a few $100s more. So call if you have a problem or if you want to get tested, whether you're buying or selling real estate or you're just concerned for safety and health. 303-880-0682. 303-880-0682. Absolute Radon Safety for absolute peace of mind. You can search that at referralist.com as well, referralist.com. All right, we have Stan, the HOA man, here standing by if you have any questions, but we're going to announce his forum coming up tomorrow. Now, Todd's got a question. Go ahead, Todd. Regarding HOAs, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
I'm a contractor. Put a roof on for a client out in Eaton, and the HOA came back after the fact and says we don't like the color.
Wait, did you get it approved beforehand, or did the homeowner?
I told the homeowner he needed to verify with the HOA that the color was good to go, and he said, well, if we're going to match it, then I don't think there'll be an issue. I said, well, you still need to make sure they don't need some documents. So he told me, yeah, okay, we're good to go. And then after the roof was installed, and
that's not your issue, man. You did a roof; it's not your fault, unless you did the wrong color.
Well, no, that's kind of the gray area.
Or if the contract says something like he was going to do it.
Yes, if the contract says you have to do it, secure the approvals. But if the contract simply says you're going to install a certain roof and you did, it's not your problem. You're out of it.
I hate to leave this guy hanging, though.
Well, no, I hate to leave him hanging, too. Hey, Stan, have you heard of this before?
I think you just answered it. He has a contract. The homeowner probably went through the architectural committee, got it approved, and now they have a conflict. That's what I suspect. Now, where do you resolve that? The contractor, I think, is off the hook. The
okay,
roofer.
But what about? Let me ask you something. I feel like you have to. You can't let him. I mean, I wouldn't want him to hang. But what does the homeowner want from you?
He wants another roof, and I told him, well,
Well, okay, and then what did you say? If he said I want another roof, you said what? Well, I did what you told me to do, right?
Right, and there's some variables.
Like what?
This is a brand new roof. The other one was 12, 15 years old. I told him, in 6 months it's going to fade, and yeah, of course it looks different right now. The documentation I received, he forwarded me the letter from the HOA.
And what did it say?
It listed two specific colors as acceptable or like-kind shingles.
And you did that?
Right. So I don't want to tell the guy, sorry, bro, pound sand. I mean, that's obviously not a good way to do business.
Well, then redo it. I mean, I think you only have two choices. What choices do you see? If you don't want to tell him to go pound sand, if you did what that contract said, call the HOA and say, look, not what the contract said, but what the HOA demanded. Did you put one of those two on there that the HOA said?
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
He's going to say he put a like one on.
A similar, but did the homeowner present the HOA with a shingle or
was it truly like? Was it truly like the one you put on?
Yeah, I got up on the roof and matched it because I didn't want, for obvious reasons. It's just part of every job you do, especially when you're dealing with an HOA. So I got up on the roof and matched it and delivered it and installed it and passed inspection, and we're all good to go as far as the logistics of the project went. But they came back, 4 or 5 weeks later, saying we don't like that color.
You're saying you approved it, not the HOA. That's what I just heard you say.
Yeah, did anyone say? Did you say I don't have these two, but I have this one, and then he brought it to the HOA or not?
No, he did it all after the fact. Before we even started the project, I told him, you need to verify with your HOA we're good. And
but this choice of this letter that says we want one of these two, did that come before the job or after the job?
After.
Oh, then it doesn't matter. I thought that he had a letter saying these two would be fine before the job began.
No, he didn't. What is it? An ACA document that he sent to
architectural control.
He sent He sent that in after the project was done and got a letter back from him with, I guess, the quotations from the bylaws or whatever the term is for the HOA's.
He's going to lose it. He's going to lose if they don't if they don't amend it. If they do not give him a waiver, he's going to lose. HOAs love fighting. They love it because they fight with your money. They love it.
I know.
So you have to decide what you want to do, mate. But either you're going to take the hit or he is. I mean, who else will?
Oh no, I get it. I get it.
What were you wanting to? What was your question? Actually, you never actually asked your question.
Well, I wanted to know exactly what the option. Like, he's selling his house. He's only going to be in it 3 more weeks.
Yeah, but that's gonna the new owners are going to be hassled by it.
They're going to have to disclose that.
Yes, they will.
Right, right. So that was my second question. Does that carry over to the new ownership?
Yeah, yeah, it's on the house.
Okay.
The HOA is going to come and say, look, man.
They might make, the title company might make them put an entire roof job in escrow.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is terrible. I mean, it really is. And I don't know what other roofers do. I don't know. But with HOAs, this could be a real hassle. But I only see two options. You either eat it or he eats it, or you compromise. I mean, you don't feel it's your fault, do you?
No. Well, I mean, I'm part of the process, so I do, carry some responsibility.
Well, it depends. I don't know what your contract says.
I keep going back to that. I mean, we're not attorneys, but I'd love to hear what that contract says.
Does it say it's your responsibility? I mean, you don't have to be an attorney to know if it says it's your responsibility or theirs.
No, it doesn't.
What does it say when it speaks to it? Does it speak to responsibility of that at all? The contract?
No.
Well, I suggest you get an attorney and put some wording in there for future cases.
I'm planning on changing that for sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. Good luck to you. I'd like to know how it turns out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Marie, what's going on with you? Marie.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I have a scenario that you have already had on your program.
What is that?
Well, a lady parked at an apartment complex and had her car towed, and the towing company said that she was parked in tenant parking only. But she didn't see any signs posted, and this same scenario happened to my son on Saturday night, and I told him, hey, this is a scam. I heard all about
No,
this.
it's not necessary. It's not necessarily a scam. Here's what I believe is a scam. I believe it's a scam when they don't put up a sign to warn, and then they just tow. I mean, or they give an email to the tenants, because there's no way every visitor saw that email. I think it's pretty logical. If you out in the public, the ordinances require signs. Now they don't put up. They can't control what you do on private property. But in my opinion, if you would go and to a place that has no signs and they tow you, it's unfair. It just seems unfair to me. And we begged the other guy to sue us because we think we would win if this guy said, when we did it, we begged the guy to sue us because we think we could win by making the argument, how do you know where to park and where not to park? But Marie, before you go saying there were no signs, how do you know?
There were no signs.
Did you go there and look?
Yes, I had my son go yesterday and take pictures.
There are no signs anywhere about parking at all anywhere.
No.
Where is it?
In Colorado Springs.
Okay, and there are no signs, but if you park somewhere they don't like, they can tow you. Is there any sign whatsoever that says assign parking only? Anything at all? There's not one sign in that entire parking lot?
Nothing.
Okay, if that's the case, what I would do is I would sue them for the damages, and I would say it's unfair. I wouldn't cite any laws. I would just sue. I'd say I want my money back. And if they ask why, I'd say because I was never warned, and, you can't do that on the streets of Colorado Springs. Why should he be able to do it? That's what I would do. But I disagree with you, Marie. As much as I want to believe I'm talking about any signs whatsoever, because if it says, here's the point I want you to know, it doesn't have to say we'll be towed away. It could simply say residents only. You see, the place and then it's done. You see, the place that we had a tiff with did not say residents only. It said park in assigned places only, but then never told people what assigned parking was. So there was no way to tell. There was no markings.
And it was a unique situation because they just changed from towing companies to that.
Right. There were no markings. But I'll bet you that I can almost bet that at that parking lot, it says that it's residents only.
Hey, we've got a lot of listeners there. Anybody listening in Colorado Springs, where is this place?
Yeah, where is it?
I am sorry, I don't know the details.
All right, hold on, Marie. Get us the details. We'll check out the parking lot. But I think if I parked in a place that had no warning whatsoever, nothing whatsoever, I would go to small claims court and try to get my money back and just say, it's not fair. It's unconscionable. It's not fair. They took my money. There's not one sign warning me. Not one sign.
It'd be like if Walmart decided to tow every vehicle someday.
I would just ask the judge about fairness. That's all. Because I'll bet you it says somewhere no parking. Residents only. You see, they don't have to have guest spots at all. Our tiff with that other place, Park It Right, had nothing to do with the property owner's rights. If that property owner wanted to say no parking for anyone but tenants, I think they have a right to do that. But they didn't do that. They said parking in assigned areas only, and then they had no assigned areas. There was not one other sign. It said, parking underneath and covered parking with permit only, but they had no other parking for guests, for homeowners, for anything. And in my opinion, that was flat out unfair. Dorothea, you wanted to talk about that graduation. How many valedictorians were at, what was it called, Rangeview?
No, Ralston Valley.
Oh, that's right. That's what I meant. Ralston Valley, how many?
I have the program. There are 25 valedictorians, 4 salutatorians, but they also have honors graduates. Now, there was like 135 of those.
How the hell do you have 25 valedictorians?
Well, when you look at the class size is almost 500.
Yeah, but were they, so they were tied, I guess.
Yes, pretty much tied.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to be the speaker, they had auditions.
Okay, I get it. So 25 valedictorians that tied, and 4 second-place runner-ups, and then, of course, honors, 130 honors. Wow, that's incredible. GoKam Solar. Remember this website, GoKamSolar.com. GoKamSolar.com. Put a slash on it. And then Martino. It is our solar company, GoKam Solar. We got a solar company that has vast experience. They have 3,000 systems operating, and they give performance guarantees. In fact, they're the only solar company to offer both a 20-year bumper-to-bumper equipment warranty and an energy production guarantee. So you'll have a worry-free system for 20 years. That's peace of mind. They've been in business now more than 10 years. They have 3,000 systems installed, and they're offering that 20-year performance guarantee. And speaking of the 20/20 bumper-to-bumper warranty and guarantee of performance, they also have a 20-minute get back to you with an analysis whether your location will produce solar and if it'll be efficient. So you just have to call or go online, and they'll get back to you in 20 minutes with an analysis of your location. 720-449-2935. That's 720-449-2935 or GoKamSolar.com/troubleshooter.
We got a mic on somewhere. There's a mic on somewhere.
30K radio station. With Russ mornings, Michael Brown afternoons. KHOW Denver. You may not believe it.
Who?
But it's actually
He wants to go get a program sent over.
$1,000. That is
There's no way 125 people.
Oh, it should be no way 25.
There should be 25, though.
Maybe 3 at the absolute most.
When I was getting out of Yale, we only had one.
I'm surprised there were 25 people.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I've heard 3. I might have heard 3.
When they're injured and they say, Tom, who should I call? And I say, John Fuller, Fuller Law. John Fuller has seen all kinds of
What can you say?
on personal injury. And
What
he
can you
has an
say?
honest assessment of that case. Personal injury is nothing.
I remember the first Pee Wee football game I brought Miles to. He played Pee Wee football. It was tackle football. It was cute.
If it's someone else's
There was no, technically you weren't supposed to keep score as a parent. I mean, just the rules were ridiculous. But everybody knew at the end who fucking won every time.
Just like T-ball. T-ball, they don't have outs.
Coach pitch.
Everybody gets a hit. Once each inning is everybody.
Oh. Yeah, it's pathetic, isn't it? These kids need balls. Seriously.
You mean baseballs or
all kinds of balls?
Just balls.
Just balls.
Without changing your budget, buy your home faster. Take AIM, 720-895-0500. Many of our clients will pay less interest to the bank, not change their spending habits, and own their home faster.
So Stan, what's the biggest HOA issue you see? Is it paint colors?
No.
Does your current loan
It's
allow
just
you to access
enforcement.
your equity without refinancing for another
There's
loan
no
at rates?
venue for homeowners to enforce their rights in this state. And not one law of about 12, 14 laws that were written ever addresses how you enforce your rights other than go to court. And we know people can't keep running to court. So other states have implemented out-of-court solutions. And that's what we're trying to do here. But every time we try to do it, we have the HOA lawyers kill it, or the community association institute.
I can see why the lawyers want to kill it, because that's their bread and butter.
The community association institute is represented in the media as homeowner-centric. As what? Homeowner-centric. They have nothing to do with homeowners. They represent the property management industry and the legal industry.
And they call stem cell in America.
Community association institute. They've run HOAs in this state for decades, until we came along. And it took me the better part of 3-4 years to expose them. And we just had this property management licensing law repealed, which is a big blow for homeowners, because that was the only accountability. That was litigated out of court, and they were involved in killing that.
Are you getting it sent to you?
Yep.
Does it say that, 104?
He's got to go get it out of the car, but he remembers saying that. They didn't break it down into all those subcategories. They just called them out.
I just can't believe there's all those people. And there's no way there's 104 tied. No way, man.
25 tied.
25 out of 500. There could be 25 ties.
There's a lot of extra credit and a lot of stuff. No, it's not just a 4.0.
They do it on some kind of sliding scale. If they have a grade point average between here and there, they're valedictorians.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, they're honors. They're Kuma Sum.
They call them valedictorians.
Kuma Sum lousy.
No, well, okay.
It may be a better semantics of how they call it.
I don't know. Valedictorian is a certain grade point average as far as the highest.
Summer law.
That's what I want.
That's what I thought it was. I couldn't believe when I looked at this.
Summa are lousy. Assumed are lousy.
I did. They're going to fax it over. They're going to send it over to me. They're going to shoot a copy of it.
I need to know the criteria.
Oh, this will be the biggest in your face ever.
And that
says 100.
I don't care.
And if it doesn't say 104, it'll be just like the elevator. Remember when he didn't believe there was no elevator?
No, I got shot in the heart on the elevator.
But man, I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. If there are even 25 valedictorians, I'm shocked. If he would have told me 25, I would have said no. I can't believe there's 25.
Well, they didn't break them down that way on the
Your time is precious.
pamphlet or whatever it is. They just had the graduation class brochure. Yeah. They were just broken. They were just listed as valedictorians. Now they may have had that subclasses that lady was talking about that were all within there.
But they get the like honors and stuff. I mean, they get their little ribbon, but they just get to wear it.
Well, it was nuts. It looked like they all won.
Like they all won.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. This is the only show of its kind. You want to save money? Art of Granite will give you a price on the phone, artofgranite.net, or call them on the phone for your price. Art of Granite, direct stone importer for countertops. He charges only wholesale, either from him or anywhere you can buy it on his wholesale account for the material. Then you get that with no markup. A small markup on cabinets, direct from the manufacturer. He only charges for fabrication and installation, which means all the tear out and haul-away's free, the bathroom's free when you have the kitchen done, all of that available on the phone to get your initial price, which will be within a few dollars. On the phone right now, 303-386-5919. Prices on the phone, artofgranite.net. A great guy, Mitch Floria, artofgranite.net.
I got an email from this guy, Tim. Listen to this one.
And Tim is what?
Tim, I don't know, he's a listener. Mullen is a school, I guess. I haven't heard of it.
Mullen High School, a very good school.
8 minutes. 8-minute graduation.
I doubt that.
There's a caveat.
What?
The seniors who were baseball players had a game that day. So just the seniors graduating had their own special ceremony before, because a baseball game was going to be then, because they went to the finals.
Well, only seniors graduated.
So, well, no, only seniors on the baseball team were part of the 8-minute graduation ceremony.
Cool. Well, listen, man, this is incredible that graduations, you know, it's just amazing to me. Graduations, 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. I think an hour is too much. I don't think you have to, why you have to name every name? I don't care. Give it, just, hey, come up and get it on the way out. I don't know, what the hell? I don't know. Hand it to me on the door on the way out. I don't understand this stuff. Joel, you have an adverse possession problem, or you want some advice. What's going on?
Yes. My wife has a lot in Evergreen, and the people next door they bought the property, and it was fenced in around their property, and they're having to replace their septic system, and they were interested in buying the lot to expand their
buying what lot, Joel? Field. Buying what lot?
It's a lot in Evergreen.
No, I mean, is the lot? Who owns the lot you're calling?
My wife owns the lot.
All right. Your what? Is it a vacant lot?
It's a vacant lot.
Okay. So your wife has a vacant lot, and the people next door want to buy it.
Right.
Okay. What about it?
Well, I gave them a price. They made an offer. I counter-offered, and it's going to cost them $35,000 to put in a septic system. So $5,000 for the lot, I felt was reasonable.
Well, that's up to you and them. So what about it now?
What I'm concerned is they're going to use the adverse possession.
Well, how can they use adverse possession? Have they been using your property for the last 10, 12, 15, 20 years?
Yes.
How have they been using it?
When she bought the property, his wife bought the property before they were married, it was fenced in. The lady told her that was part of the property. She never did have it surveyed or...
So wait a minute. They have been fencing in part of your wife's property?
Yes.
For how long?
I have no idea.
Have they been taking care of it?
Yes.
Who's been paying taxes on it?
That's not an issue.
It will be if they try to do an adverse possession.
No, Mark, it's not. It's not. They don't have to pay taxes for them to make an adverse claim.
My only point was they'd have to go back in time and pay that share of the taxes.
Oh, well, that would be one of the damages. But here's the deal, Joel. I put you on hold because your background noise. Adverse possession is not automatic. So they'd have to file something in court and prove that they openly, adversely possessed that land and used it. That's it. So, Joel, if they can prove it, then they can have adverse possession possibly. But it's a legal process. You guys, if you guys are concerned about it, whether you sell it to them or not doesn't matter in my opinion, because really, if they want to make an adverse possession claim, why would they even buy it? I mean, in other words, if they were going to do it, why didn't they just do it? But you need, I wouldn't even worry about it until they did it. I wouldn't give them any ideas. Adverse possession is probably one of the most misunderstood concepts. It generally says that if you openly and adversely take a piece of property and call it your own, and it's even hazy on how long. Unless, Mark, when they made changes in that law, did they put a time period in it?
Basically says, here's the best way. I like how this website puts it. In the event an adverse claimant prevails on the claim, the court may determine that an award of compensation must be paid to the party losing title to the rear property. So a lot of times, how I read this is you might end up buying it for fair market value anyhow.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's really weird because the specified time is not there, is it?
18 years.
Oh, it says 18 years? Okay, because before, I don't think it was spelled out. Where does it actually say 18 years of continued? Hold on, keep going.
The other thing it says is a losing party for all taxes and assessments that can be appropriated to the lost property that were paid by then the recorded owner for the prior 18-year period.
So, Joel...
The amount will bear interest at the statutory rate.
So, Joel, they've changed it a bit, and it might be that if he went through adverse possession, it might be you'd get more money than you're asking for it. So it's not a total loss.
God, is he in a wind tunnel? Is he jumping out of a plane?
Here's another thing. A lot of people confuse adverse possession with eminent domain.
That's right.
Two different things. Eminent domain is when a public entity takes it, and for the good of the public, they call it. And then the other one is when a private party takes it. Eminent domain, they can set the price based on fair market, but their fair market is always below fair market, in my opinion. I mean, they screw people. We got more coming right up.
Did he say that it was $5,000?
Yeah, that's so cheap.
If you had to take 18 years of what the share of that property tax would be, throw 6% onto it, compounded for 18 years,
And an attorney.
watch out.
For the time he hired an attorney,
And that's the new law.
yeah.
That's after.
Well, it's after 08. I guess that's when
after
that
the Boulder
Boulder
thing.
What was that? I've asked this before. The Boulder thing was what? Somebody was doing a bike path and they used it and the guy took it.
They were running.
But it was worth a shitload, right? Like $1 million.
It kept them from
Well,
building
you
on
know,
there.
what it
because
did
was
is
too
it
small.
rendered their lot useless.
Because it
swath-
wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
The swath of land they took was not $1 million, but the whole lot could have been worth upwards. Or it could have cost them $1 million because they put a house on it.
God, I'd be furious.
Oh, it was terrible.
They got it done. They got the problem, and they didn't pay shit, Mark.
He was a judge, is that right?
Yeah.
Our fence line, I guess, because we're building this garage,
Right through the middle of
our
the
fence line on one side, it's so off, it's not even funny.
The lots now wasn't big
Both.
enough to put a house
It's like this. So at the front of our house, there's probably, oh my God, 5,000 feet that are theirs. In the back, they're mine. Well, I'm going to run a new fence this summer anyhow. I just can't for the life of me figure out who put this fence up. It's so bad. I mean, the fence is put up decent, but it's so crooked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so in the front,
You got a lot of rocks and trees.
so it goes like this. So, and it should be, look, it should be like this. So therefore, this is all their land on the front. This is all my land in the back. They totally, it's probably an even amount of land, but the way they did it, the only thing I can reckon they did is they made it just the easiest point so no trees would be in the way.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but they still go fucking around trees like this. So, I mean,
They
there's
do
no
that,
rhyme
they
or
do
reason.
that with utilities and everything else in the mountains. Go around trees and rocks.
My builder, my contractor thought maybe a couple of farmers got drunk and put up the fence over the weekend. So I've known Dan for a while. This is starting to make sense.
Sometimes happens.
Sometimes. Is this straight? Put the beer can where the next pole goes.
We're putting it up at dark.
Yeah.
The night,
God, it's so easy though. If you can find, all you got to do is find your true markers. You grab a laser pen and send someone over where you're supposed to go. It draws the straightest line you can ever imagine now.
How did you find your markers?
Well, I found them. I didn't find the actual one marker. I found one. But I've got it down to within a 3-foot radius by GPS coordinations. Because that's how these surveyors do it now. So my phone is within 3 feet.
You try a metal detector to find scissors?
No, I don't have a metal
I'll
detector.
bring one for you.
Bring one in. I was actually going to buy one. I went on, and the problem is it's either total Radio Shack junk, or they go up to $500.
This one's junk, but I can always find it's a rebar.
It works out?
Yeah, it's usually a 3-foot rebar with a plastic cap on top.
Yeah. No, if you bring that, that'd be great. I'll try it even tomorrow if you bring it. I thought that exact thing if I find it. But then I was told that nowadays, when you go out and do a new development, it is all fucking GPS.
So this program online says that Ralston Valley started at 7 in the morning and went till 10:30.
In the morning?
3.5 hours, huh?
Do they show the ceremony?
Yeah.
Do they have the ceremony booklet?
Wait, it says 7 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 6:30 to 7 they arrive.
7:25 is what happens. 9. Wait, now they have Friday morning. Wait, oh, this is the whole week. I'm sorry. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So when was graduation?
Friday.
Friday the what?
Last Friday.
It would be the
Last Friday the 18th.
18th.
Oh, it doesn't say. It just no, that doesn't say. Then that was never mind. That
They
was
probably don't know how
rehearsal.
long it'll be.
No, it just says graduation 10:30.
It's from 10:30.
And it doesn't say what time it doesn't say.
It's if you had a graduate, you had to have them there at 9:30.
Yeah, usually they got to be there.
Yeah. So we had to be there. At
I would
9:30.
protest to the Human Rights Department if it was 5 hours and if there was more than 2 valedictorians.
Of course, I got locked out at 1 o'clock. I was out. It wasn't 2 till.
Hell, I would have said thank you.
I know. All right. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you're looking for someone to represent you in buying or selling, Frank Duran is my recommendation, hands down, in the Denver metro area all the way up north to Fort Collins. You can't do better. Frank Duran, the real estate man. It's that simple. He has teams to buy or sell. He won't hold you to a long-term contract because he knows if he doesn't earn your money, he's not worth it, but he will. And he'll save you money. He will help you make more money. He has stats to prove it. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Let's keep going. Okay, listen, we got a lot happening here. And Tom sent some pictures of a crummy deck, and it looks like crap. Tom.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's happening with your deck? I have some photos here. They don't look pretty. You didn't give me a wide shot, though. You just gave me tight shots. I don't know why people do that. An overall picture of the deck would have been something. So tell me.
Yeah, I got more.
Well, it's okay. Who did you hire to do this?
It's Spirit Products, Colorado.
I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure they're not on the referral list. Where'd you find them?
We found them in a magazine called 5 Star. Let me look here real quick.
5 star. I'd hate to see 2 stars.
How do you listen to us and not go to referrallist.com? To save my life, I don't get it.
Well, I don't know.
Save a buck.
Anyway, trying to save a buck. So, Tom, let's ask you this. What did the contract say? I'm going to build you a deck. Did it say anything about, anything about material quality, anything like that?
Nothing about material quality. They bought all their stuff from Home Depot.
Okay.
Treated unfinished pine.
God.
Undercarriage planks post. Concrete
I would
pad.
make the argument that that's not standard of the industry. Okay, so you got a lousy deck. You told them about it. What did they say?
Well, they're communicating with me. They're just not doing anything.
Did they truly put untreated lumber on there?
Yeah, unfinished pine.
Redwood, I believe redwood, you don't have to have treated, right? Redwood is naturally resistant. But if you use any other kind of wood, it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be. I don't even know if does code call for pressure-treated lumber?
I don't think so.
I think this is pressure treated.
Oh, well, then what do you mean unfinished?
That's just what's in the contract.
But wait. Is it pressure treated or not?
I think it is. I don't know.
Did you have anyone look at this deck and tell you what's wrong with it?
That's why I called you.
Okay. We need to have someone look at it.
Colorado Deck and Landscaping.
We need to have them look at it and really give an assessment. What did you pay for this deck?
It's about $6,000. It's 3 payments of $1973.75.
Gosh, how big is it?
75 square feet.
The only problem I have is I'm looking at one board that's warped, and then I'm looking at a rail that wasn't put in right.
Yeah, we need to see a few more photos. We'll send them over to Colorado Deck and Landscape. But here's what we have to do, Tom. What part of town are you in?
I'm down in Littleton, Centennial area.
We need someone to eyeball it, but first send us more photos, okay?
Yeah, like an overall picture.
Yeah, an overall picture in different angles. Just send us some more pictures. We'll take a look at it, okay? 303-713-8255. Ray, what is your DirecTV problem? Ray, what is your problem?
My problem is that we put a deposit down on DirecTV.
Yes.
For $199.
And what's the problem?
The problem was that we faced to the north, and they couldn't.
Well, if they can't install it, what's possibly the issue?
I know. Hold on. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do here. Hey, we have a line open. You can get right through. As you know, we're speeding through these calls trying to help everyone. This deck problem, we'll revisit. The DirecTV problem, if they can't get you a signal, I don't know how they plan on enforcing that contract. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Art of Granite for your Granite.
Some of the new pressure-treated stuff is pressure-treated red. It looks like redwood. They put the board on upside down.
My deck is not pressure-treated.
Hey, by the way, I just need you to know something. You understand, I'm not checking on this valedictorian thing because I don't believe you.
Yeah, we're not.
I'm doing it because I think it's fucking preposterous.
So I do too.
And I want to talk about it.
Yeah, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he knows that.
Anything that
He
happens.
has fun. Like when we did the tower. I love having fun like that.
Drew is entertaining.
But I can't believe, I just can't believe these schools having 3 and 4 hour, 2 hour.
I can't believe the amount of valedictorians. That just irritates me.
I just read a thing on it.
It becomes meaningless.
I got my GED at 16. They had, you know how long my ceremony was? It was, my fucking diploma showed up in the mailbox and my parents fucking gasped. They've been holding their breath.
I went to graduation but was not allowed to wear the robe.
Why?
Because I owed money.
Too fat? Oh.
I owed money to the school.
So these ballots.
So they really wouldn't let you run?
No.
Can you imagine
No,
that?
if you owe money, you don't get to walk. Many of them don't even get to walk.
Oh, that's brutal.
What'd you owe money for?
I was in '69. There was a big race riot at West High School, and we had a.
He was the only black kid there.
I was probably the only kid there that wasn't on frickin' welfare.
Look at it, it's on YouTube already.
Oh, really? What is?
His graduation.
Is it really?
So that deck is bad. I mean, they didn't pre-drill the balusters, so everyone's cracked.
We had to pay $80. Oh, that's a big problem if they didn't pre-drill.
Right.
That's crazy. If they didn't,
it's 560, wasn't it? Something like that.
Last
500 and some, just a little over 500 graduates.
And everyone was a winner.
Yeah.
Cherry Creek said over 1,000.
Best student in Mrs. Johnson's 3rd row, 4th from the back. Jeremy Brizik.
I can't believe how big it is.
Most effort by any child ever given in Mrs. Wilford's class, Seat 3, Section 4.
Unfortunately, we sat down on the floor because my son.
The award for late term pregnancy.
Look, I am the homeowner with Ruth that Todd called in about earlier.
This guy could shotgun faster than anybody.
Hey, babe, I'm gonna. Did you see this thing from Spence? I guess we're supposed to get them on the air.
Who?
It's just listener feedback.
Tim's coming on. Let's get Tim on.
Skyrocket. At 2:30, when everybody was leaving, the skies opened up with hail and rain, like
no hassle, no obligation.
Like something out of a
Build
biblical.
a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies. Richard, 40 years old.
So what is Trump demanding? What is Trump demanding now?
Go catch up with,
investigation. What is Trump saying? That
they put a fucking mole. They put a mole. Can you imagine that? One political party putting a fucking mole into another political party before an election. I hope he's fucking not right. No, not like this. Not an FBI mole. A fucking FBI.
Yeah, but it wasn't part of a party. What does he think?
It's a true gopher.
Wait, is he saying the FBI did it?
Yeah.
Is he saying the FBI did it?
Yes.
This report is
for the Democrats.
And you know what the FBI says? It wasn't a mole, it was an informant.
They suspected something, so what the FBI did, they assigned this person to go in and become infiltrators, okay, to figure out if there's a connection. It wasn't directed by Democrats or anybody else.
Go to lifelock.com.
That's what the FBI does. Informants. If they didn't have informants, it would be called FBI.
Keep it on K-How to keep up with what matters.
It's ridiculous if that's true. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, you read that. Well, you probably didn't read it, but, you know, the whole thing started. They said Trump was going to Russia getting pissed on to get his rocks off. I mean, virtually, you know, he was shitting on the bed and all. It was the craziest shit you ever fucking heard. That was Like literally, that was your dossier.
Urinated on some gal during some sexual escapade.
It was the craziest shit you'd ever read. But it was all, then they find out it was 100% made up.
It was really made up.
Yeah, of course it was.
There-
Well, they're arguing that. They're tracing it back to Democratic money, right?
Well, that's true. It's that guy they had to do that report.
So now they're
looking for dirt on Trump.
Yeah, but so when they couldn't find any, they literally fucking paid a guy to make dirt. Then they took what they paid for and brought it to the FISA court and said, hey, we need a warrant to wiretap and all this shit based upon this information. Oh my God, they did fuck them over like that.
This turns out to be true. It's going to be.
That was paid for
The mole's a whole new part.
DNC. That was paid by DNC.
Yeah, they don't even argue it.
$5 million.
That's not, that's not
They're basically saying, oh, whoops, you know, we thought the info was real. Even though they paid to have it made. It's fucking crazy. You can't even write a book on it.
He was an expert. He's saying it's not what happened.
It's not what happened.
What do you think happened?
The original dossier was paid for. It was paid for by both political parties. And they were trying to come up with, actually it was into the election with this, I forget the guy's name, so many people involved in this, but to come up on a Russian connection and all this type of thing. And it spilled over into that Assange, you know, the emails and all this. It gets complicated. But every political party pays the other people to inform. Okay,
But they don't take bullshit like that and go to a FISA court based on that.
The FBI do, though. The FBI should be part of that.
The latest thing he's contending, which is they believe that there was a Russian connection. This is back before he was elected.
The FBI did.
Yeah. So to investigate this, they do what they do all the time.
Based upon the dossier.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being right.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. One line open at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Buy and Build, 4800 Washington Street. You know, it's all about saving money on this show and protecting yourself and making wise decisions. Buy and Build is a great decision. Lower than wholesale, less than wholesale, building materials, interior finish products, really. Floor coverings like, you know, wood, laminates, hardwoods, tile. They also have cabinets, beautiful cabinets. They have granite and other stone. They also have plumbing fixtures. Oh my goodness, 1/10 of the cost that you'll find at plumbing stores, and less than even the big box stores. And they have electrical fixtures for pennies on the dollar compared to the other stores. All first quality merchandise. Buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. You give them a call, see if they have what you're looking for. 303-295-6022. A big, giant, ugly warehouse. Yes. Like the owner. I'm just joking. I always say that. Anyway, Courtney's not that big and ugly. Okay, 4800 Washington Street, buyandbuild.net. Okay, so listen, we have a lot to talk about today. There seems to be this crappy deck we need to investigate. And then there's the idea of a roof that was put on and it didn't match, and the HOA says, hey, it doesn't match. Speaking of HOAs, we have Stan, the HOA man. He's from Colorado HOA Forum. If you have any questions about HOAs, I don't really know, other than information, what the Colorado HOA Forum can do for you, because really, they'll tell you to begin with, the time to take action is before you move in, by reading the bylaws and reading all about it. I mean, Stan, don't you think there are some things you move into, you agree to when you close on your property, right?
No, absolutely. And we have advocated a bill.
Yeah, that would do what?
That requires both the realtor and the home buyer to sign that they read and understand all of the, let's just call them covenants, the restrictions, before they move in. That never gets anywhere. It's killed.
Yeah, once you're in there, it's way hard to change anything.
And what this does, it protects both the homeowner and the HOA. Then when you have a complaint, we can go right back to that document. It's sort of over right away.
You know, I like HOAs. I just don't like overreaching and far-reaching HOAs that are ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with HOAs if they're done right. But you don't ever try to fight one, because you're fighting with their pool of money that comes from you and other homeowners. They don't have a personal stake in it. The president of that HOA does not have a personal stake. The management company does not have a personal stake. The management company is hired. And then you have what's called runaway management companies. Those are management companies that basically are hired to run the place, and then they start changing things and telling the board how to vote. And then when there's a general vote, they often do it by proxy. So the general population never truly has a say. And then here's what happens. Over time, the board fizzles out, and the management company is still there, renewing its contract every year automatically, and there could be a board that's not even there. And it's not up to the management company to form a board to fire itself. They're not even residents. We have several cases where there are management companies that have no stake in a property whatsoever, and they have written their own rules, because there's no board to fire them. They just fizzled out, but the management company stayed, and it's by apathy that they keep renewing their contract. Then you have other places like over at Pantera Plaza. I always give this one, these so-called luxury condos, where one person got proxies for most people, and then she changed all the rules so no one can do anything about it. Like, you can't contact the other owners, you can't get a mailing list, you can't do this, you can't do that. They automatically renew. So this person can put anyone she wants on the whatchamacallit, anyone she wants on the board.
She's like the king.
She's the dictator.
Yeah.
Truly. And she has all these proxies. So what if you wanted to go contact the people with the proxies? You can't, because you can't get a mailing list. She has shut down the entire homeowners association and rules it. Everything she wants, she gets. She can hire and fire people. The management company kowtows to her. The board members kowtow. Can you imagine getting that much power, and then once you get it, you shut down the system so no one can take it? Wow, think about that. So watch out for proxies, because if people gather enough proxies, they can run the entire place.
Stan, do most places allow proxies? In Highlands Ranch or somewhere like that?
The answer is yes, and one of the problems we're having is when people are not voting in an election, the HOA, and I just went over this with somebody, it's an ongoing thing, they claim that the votes of people who don't vote by proxy or in person are defaulted to the board, which is absolutely illegal.
Oh, then the board votes on their behalf.
That sucks.
They just that sucks. By default, but it's not even a proxy. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, listen, we had a guy call in, a roofer, and he said, hey, listen, I really want to help this homeowner. I don't know what to do. I put on a roof, and the HOA says it's not the right roof. But I told the homeowner to get the HOA approval, and he said he did. Well, now we have the homeowner on to talk about it. But here's the deal. What did the original contract say? Did it say it was the roofer's job or the homeowner's job to get that approval? I don't know. So let's talk to the homeowner. This is Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Tom.
So I never got the name of the roofer.
I used Todd with High Plains Construction, or Contractors, who's on your referral list.
Okay, good.
He picked out the roofer.
Okay, he picked out the roofer. High Point Construction.
High Plains.
High Plains, I'm sorry. And wait a minute. So there was more than roof that needed to be done?
Correct.
Okay, and then you did everything through him. Okay, so the guy I just talked to was not from High Plains, Suzanne? It was? Okay, good. Okay, well,
he's the president, or he's the main guy.
What did the contract say? Whose responsibility was it to go to the HOA?
Well, to be totally honest, nobody went to the HOA, or I wasn't even, Todd didn't say anything about doing that.
Oh, he told me, he said he told you to get the HOA approval. I'm sure he said that, and he said that you told him you did. Now,
I did not. It was after the fact that I sent that in.
So he was talking about,
like it.
So he said, okay, so wait a minute. He said after the fact, go talk to the HOA?
The HOA sent me a courtesy letter saying that they didn't, I guess, approve of the color, or I had to do another application, and then they denied it.
So you did, okay, so you did the application. Why did they deny it? Is it much different than the original roof?
Well, they said that the color that's on there, it is a different color, and I guess I could just send you some before and after pictures. But I didn't. The only time I ever saw that color was when it was on my roof already.
Yeah, but
So
here's the
Todd
point.
picked
But
the
here's the
color.
point, though. I mean, whose
Okay.
fault is it? Kyle,
don't
you're the
know.
homeowner. I mean, if you paid a roofer to do a roof and he did a roof, I said this before I even knew who they were last hour, pull the tape. I said it's not your problem to the roofer unless the contract said that he was responsible for that. It's not his problem. I mean, why wouldn't you? I don't understand how this even happened. Why didn't you go to the HOA?
Well, I guess I didn't even think about doing that, to be totally honest.
But why?
And I guess this is kind of how it went down. We did the contract. It doesn't have a particular color in there, so Todd went to do the match of the roof of what I had currently.
Right.
So I guess I put that into his hands. The color
No,
is
the
different.
color. Well, if he did a match, we can agree it matched or not. Did it match?
It doesn't match.
Oh, it doesn't match.
He is claiming, it's a light color. I'm saying I don't think it is, but I could send you pictures. You could
Yeah,
look at
send
it
us
and make
pictures.
a
Before and after.
Send us pictures.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you have that.
this is a whole different ball game. If it was his responsibility to match it and he didn't do a good job matching it,
He's got to redo it.
he's got to redo it. I mean, that's all there is to it. If that's his responsibility and you told him to do it. However,
I'd still like to see this agreement at some point.
I know. I would love to see. Do you have the contract?
I do. I don't have it with me right now.
I'd
but
love
I
to
can
see
get
it. Is the HOA willing to bend at all?
I don't think so. I've talked with them, and I think Todd has been trying to get a hold of them as well, but it doesn't sound like it.
Do they allow another roof to go over the top of that without tear down? I don't talk about the HOA, the county. Well, there are some jurisdictions that allow to.
It'd be the city.
Yeah, well, why are you guys shaking your heads? No, there are cities that
I
allow
just
that.
remember Jay saying something that most municipalities got rid of that.
Did they stop that now?
I thought Jay said that recently.
Because that's a brand new roof. It's a brand new roof. What would be wrong with just going over the top of it?
I don't know.
Suzanne, can you ask Jay Bretz if they're still allowed to do that or not?
Because that would be the fix if that's okay.
That would be way cheaper. So here's what we have to do, Todd. We have to, Kyle, we need to look into this, man. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want to see what
me sick to my stomach a little bit.
Well, here's the good news, though. They're on our referral list. It's a good company. Ultimately, they're going to do our code of ethics, which, if it comes down to it, they're going to have to redo it.
He called us for help to begin with. You didn't call us. He did. So I really appreciate that. I didn't know where they were from when he first called. He didn't say. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to follow this through, but we need to see the agreement too, Kyle, okay? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, Ray, we have to take a break, but I want to know what this DirecTV problem is.
Okay.
What is it?
The problem is that the technician said he could not install the dish.
And now he still wants the money. I mean, you signed a contract. I don't understand it. They can't get a signal. Ray?
He can't get a signal on his phone either out there.
Yeah. Are you there, sir?
Here.
Okay. We're having a tough time hearing you, man. So,
okay.
Do they expect you to pay anyway, even though you can't get the service?
They said that they'd refund our money within 3 to 5 business days, and it's been 3 weeks already.
Who has your money?
DirecTV, AT&T DirecTV.
Who did you pay? Who did you pay?
We did it over the phone with the card.
Okay, then why don't you just contest it with your card? It's that easy. Ray, you just contest it saying it could not be installed due to the direction, and they'll credit your card. That's easier than anything. Just
I agree with that.
Ray, really, when you pay by credit card, it protects you, and that's exactly what I would do. Hey, if you've been following the news lately, you saw on Channel 7, they did a whole expose about fake stem cell therapy and over-exaggeration about stem cells. One of the experts they interviewed was Dr. Chris Centeno from Centeno Schultz. Now, I'm telling you straight up, he does it the right way. He was one of the first providers in the entire country. And he had a stem cell clinic, living stem cells, harvested from you at the time of injection. Now, listen. There is no way to ship amniotic fluid under today's laws and have living stem cells. Any chiropractor's office, flat out, or any doctor's office, flat out, that say they're doing stem cell therapy and they use fluids that are shipped in, not harvested from you, You are flat out being ripped off. Why? Because you're not getting living stem cell therapy, period. Centeno Schultz, the real deal, also known as Regenex, 303-963-9201.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
There's a couple of slow spots to watch out for when you drive across town.
What's that?
Where did they have it? I'll show you.
In my garage, I have over-the-air TV.
Trying to email photos of the roof while it holds.
I don't care. I'll show you this one I got.
Oh, I thought you wanted to see the difference.
I've used these guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we can see that.
I got Jake Red folded for you.
No, I never do. I use these guys right here. Sheridan
You know
Village,
where
like
that
a three-piece
is from?
slate
Where
or
is
something like
that?
that. Oh, yeah.
Kyle, where his house is?
No, this is
Eaton.
solid slate.
Eaton,
It's
Colorado.
one
I
big
don't know where
slate.
Eaton is.
Eaton, I think, is...
Or is that?
Are you
Here, come over. I'll show you.
Not far
No,
from
I
Colorado
never
Springs. Are you buying?
Yeah, this is the exact one I got.
I thought it was east of
This
Colorado.
is my pool
A
table.
one-piece slate? Jesus. Have you
One piece? Ooh.
What is
I
that?
think it is.
No, they don't normally do one-piece.
Okay, then it's not.
They do
are
three-piece and wax them in, right?
Here's what it is. It's a.
They do both.
I bet it says right here.
Three-piece.
It's a beautiful 8-inch Connolly Venetia pool table,
Yeah.
perfect condition, rustic style, pine wood with a natural finish, 1-inch slate, drop leather pockets, blah blah blah.
Jesus, 1-inch slate. Do you know how heavy that would
No, but it's three. It's got to be 3 piece.
I don't know.
One
Brand
there's
new. They're $6,000. This guy. This is the second time I bought him from him.
That's three-piece.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not
2,400. It's used. He gets it. They refurb
make
it
one
to
of these.
exact specs. But second time I've
My
used
son-in-law bought one.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's got one down there, $35,000. Listen to this. It was built in 1890.
Every time I moved to a place, I put a pool table in, and it was the most unused thing in the
It's
house.
furniture.
I did too. And then you got to pay to put it in. Get it the hell out. You got to pay.
Yeah, this guy does. He does
like the
the
Beverly
install setup.
Hillbillies use it for a dining room table.
There you go.
Look at this one right here.
I've had some. I've got one. I like
My
it.
son-
Especially if you got a good on top.
You get them in
This one right here, $33,500.
deal on
Look at the
pool
inlays.
table, so we go
All
over
this
there.
is hand carved, everything.
Wow.
The guy said, well, we moved
1890,
in here
legit
before we
deal,
built
real
the
deal.
house.
It's gorgeous.
Now that's probably a one piece.
Before the.
Because of back then,
Before the
1890s.
that's
Why?
So you think mine's a trap? So all the new ones are 3-piece.
well, yeah, they used to put beeswax in between. You can't even tell that they're.
Oh, no,
It's just that one piece is too hard to move. We have easy to get around places and stuff.
No, it was probably just can't wait from all of them.
Yeah, and most people, let's say you're pretty good. You can't Oh, how big is your table?
Action balls all around.
I almost bought a snooker, man. I came so close. The 12-foot snooker that I fell in love with.
12 foot?
Yeah, 12 foot. Have you ever played snooker? When we went to Italy, that's all they have. There is no fucking pool table.
They don't have pockets, right?
You go in. Well, of course they have. When you go into a billiards place, it's all snooker, and it is so much harder than pool. It's not even fucking
Oh,
funny.
geez.
And the balls and pockets are about the same size. Our pockets are huge compared to the balls. On snooker tables, they're about the same. If you play a good snooker table in pool, he'll wipe you out every time. Have you ever played snooker? Fuck, it's hard. It is so hard.
Hey, what's that one they have like little things on the table? Bumper.
That's fun too. You start at the same time, you go off reverse side. I used to love buffalo.
Same problem.
These old Royal Crowns are nice too.
Tom plays ping pong too. We should get a tournament.
Before and after.
What makes you think he pays?
He said that one time.
I'd be surprised. Graduation.
It's me, Dave, Mike, you, and then if Tom played, that'd be 5. Yeah, we should do a little mini tournament. Miles is all right.
They're not even close.
Now you can get $100 off at the Wall 20
It'll be like the Kentucky Derby.
These are the pictures.
and a cooler. The tools feature brushless motors for up to 57% better runtime, while the
These are hard to
So, Pro, pick up your DeWalt 20.
This looks a lot lighter though. I mean, a lot lighter, doesn't it?
And let's get started. Offer valid 5/1 through 7/30.
I think the roofer is saying this will fade. You know, here's the good news. This is a pretty straightforward roof. This is nothing crazy.
and it's all served with a touch of sarcasm, humor.
They're not even close to the same color.
Did she ask?
One's clouded. One's
she
cloudy, one's on.
I wonder
So
if she
that's
asked Jay.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Hey, two things.
Health related, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. You hear me talk about it relating to adults. All right? But now I'm going to talk about the other part. Please look them up either way. NEO, New Early Orthodontics. New Early Orthodontics down in Lone Tree. They can start your children out with mouthpieces they wear at night, so when they get into their teens, they don't even need braces, or if they do need them, they need them for a short period of time. There's no extractions, no surgery to expand a palate. It's a gradual process. Now listen, I have 2 kids doing it. It's only $280 a month. He does it on a monthly payment plan. So when you're done, you're done. It's so much cheaper than regular orthodontics and faster. It's the New Early Orthodontics, NEO, New Early Orthodontics in Lone Tree, and he also does it out of Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Just look them up, okay? NewEarlyOrthodontics.com. NewEarlyOrthodontics.com. And then the other health thing I wanted to talk about is that I'm truly in love with is Bright Light Chiropractic. Dr. Mike Hederscheit. You will love this place, hands-on chiropractic like it used to be. Now, he uses a hand activator for targeted, gentle, but very targeted adjustments that trigger nerves to help relax your backs and heal itself. I love the guy. A complete evaluation with digital x-rays and a back scan is only $50, and adjustments are only $50. And if you get a package of adjustments, they go down as low as $30. I love it. It's at County Line and University. Look that up, brightenyourfamily.com, and you can sign up for an evaluation. He's doing a package deal now. The evaluation and your first adjustment, just $75, and then after that, just adjustments, 720-583-4506, 720-583-4506, brightenyourfamily.com. Remember, this is the only show where the commercials are part of the show because those are things near and dear to my heart, things that can save you money, things that can help you with your health. Speaking of which, we have the referral list filled with experts who can help us on stuff. And Jay, I have a very simple question. This guy did a roof. It was a perfect roof. It looks beautiful, but it's a wrong shade. The HOA doesn't like it. And I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Can he put a roof over another roof if he's in a what jurisdiction? Eaton, Colorado. I don't know. Do you know what most codes do? They let you, if he has a brand new roof, rather than tearing it off, can he put a layer over it?
Hey, Tom, most municipalities will not allow a second layer, but I double-checked this one for you. Eaton, Colorado will allow a second layer.
Really? And, you know, it does no harm, folks, because it's actually double protection.
Might be better.
So that saves them a lot of expense of tearing it off, doesn't it?
Actually, on that one, guys, it's better if you only have one layer.
Why?
The school of thoughts changed on this one. Before, we would think that you'd have more protection and more hail. The shingles were less likely to get damaged by hail if there were 2 or 3 layers.
Yeah.
But what we have found out is that the more cushioning that roof has, the more likely it is to get damaged by hail. So it is better if that layer of shingles is
but that's for insurance.
Deck.
But that's for insurance to worry about. I mean, if he gets a hailstorm, whether he has 1 layer or 2 layers, he's going to have it done anyway.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Tom.
I mean, so who cares?
The building codes, the modern building codes are saying 1 layer is what they want in most places. Thornton, Colorado is an exception, and also Eaton, you can put 2 layers on. The question that I have, and I wasn't able to talk to the inspector, was can you put a dimensional shingle over a dimensional? Now, for everybody listening out there, a dimensional shingle is what 95% of the asphalt shingles used today are, is dimensional. So sometimes you're not allowed to put one of those on top of the other, and now we'd have to refer back to the manufacturer specifications also.
But
there's a couple different sets of rules.
No, I understand why, too. But as far as having a double roof, it doesn't do any harm, but it can make more damage for hail. Now, as far as when you go to a HOA community, I'm going to ask you to be as straight as you can, not look back on this one, but truly, what do you normally do with an HOA-controlled community, Jay?
When we're roofing a house in an HOA-controlled community, we're looking for approval from the architectural committee before we do anything.
You demand that?
Because those guys those guys can really cause they can cause problems. It's
But do you
happened to us in the past.
so you demand that before you start work? You get it in writing.
We look for agreement. Yeah, you know, for the most part, Tom, as long as you maintain that communication and you ask the right questions, then it's usually never a problem. We do not demand a letter of acceptance by the architectural committee before we start a job. We're going to believe the customer if they tell us that they got approval from the HOA.
Okay, but do you ask?
Yes, we do, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if there was a problem and the customer told us, it needs to be changed or something, I feel like that would be the customer's responsibility at that point.
Has this happened to you?
We've dodged a couple bullets on this one, Mark. I remember one time we were roofing a house and a member of the architectural committee came screaming up and he slammed on his brakes, and I wondered what kind of crazy situation we had, and he said, "You're putting on the wrong color roof." And I was like, "You got to be serious. You're this worked up over that?" But yeah, it was a problem, and he told me, he was yelling at me, telling me that the HOA is going to sue the customer and sue us.
Oh, God, they get ridiculous.
And at that point,
he
was ridiculous. And we were 2/3 of the way through the roof, so we had no choice but just to keep going at that point.
And then what?
Became the homeowners. The homeowner dealt with the HOA, and when I talked to the homeowner later that day, and
he got it approved.
No, he told me he hated the HOA and he'd fight him to the end. I said, okay.
And you never heard back?
Never heard back.
All right, thank you. So, Kyle, we're going to look into it, but it looks like you can put another layer over the top. And make no mistake, it is double protection when it comes to the elements. However, when it comes to hail, Jay was saying it would make a cushioning underneath could cause more damage. But it doesn't much matter. If you're going to have a hailstorm, you're going to have a hailstorm, and you're going to have a roof replaced anyway. And insurance does pay for tear-off and re-roofing, whether you have one or two. But here's the deal. We got to figure this out. I looked at the photographs. While it's not egregious, it definitely is not a match. Did you notice that it was not a match while it was going up?
It happened all in one day.
Okay. Well, this is very unfortunate, but we will.
I like the newer color better, Tom.
Me too. I actually do. And I can't believe they're being such sticklers about it. God, they really are, huh? They're that adamant about it. You went through the process, and they said no.
Yes, and I guess I kind of see it because every other house is pretty much the same as it was.
No, I noticed that too, that your neighbor has the same exact color that you had before. So yours is the only one in the neighborhood that doesn't match.
Yeah.
And I think that's terrible for airplanes flying over. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk to the roofer. Mark, do you want to talk to him since you talked to him before?
Dan did, but I'd be happy to.
And then I'm done with that other one, Suzanne. I just nixed it. I mean, he can take care of that on his own. Larry, what's happening with you, Larry?
Hey, thanks for taking my call,
Yes,
Tom.
sir.
Friday night I had a flat on my Honda CRV. I pulled out the jack. It didn't appear to have a scratch on it. I got the car jacked up so I could see clearance between the flat and the ground. And I had just gotten out underneath of the car, took the flat off, and it collapsed. The jack collapsed.
What?
The all-threaded rod just bent and collapsed, and the car went down. And if I would have been underneath there, it would have crushed me from my right shoulder to my left
never mind. You weren't hurt.
No.
Oh, thank God. Well, you got to
I wouldn't even be calling in today if I would have been crushed.
You got to report this, man. What do you want?
To who? To who?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the Highway Traffic Safety Administration. I know the manufacturer would want to know, but you better. I mean, if it actually stripped right out, it could happen again. I mean, I would start at the dealer. I'd go to the district representative. I'd put it on social media. I would contact I think it's NTSB, yeah, National Traffic and Safety NTSB, whatever that.
Okay.
There it is. Hold on. National Transportation Safety Board.
I just pulled off into a parking lot, and a guy saw it. He saw me get out, take the tire off, and it collapsed. He said, "You came seconds away from your death."
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Now, Larry, something we always get in personal injury about the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, or the couldas, and couldas, you don't sue on couldas, you know. So you don't have a case. I don't think you could get a personal injury attorney to even look at you because nothing happened.
No.
But you definitely have to let people know about this. I mean, I don't understand. How old is this Jack?
It's a 2006 Honda CR-V.
And it was just
when I bought it.
and it was just sitting in there. And when you cranked it up, now have the threads stripped. Were they stripped?
The threaded rod bent, causing it to not be as secure or rigid, and the jack kicked out from underneath the frame.
Do you have any photos of this?
I can take photos in a heartbeat.
Yeah, let's take some photos. We need to get the word out, Larry. So please take some photos and let's just figure this out. And I hope you took photos when it was collapsed. Again, thank goodness no one was injured, but I definitely want to let people know about it. It's important. 303-713-8255. Wow, do you want to hear about that? I want to hear about it. And speaking of cars, Rockies, 63rd and Federal, they have prices clearly marked on all their cars. They also have them at RockiesAutos.com. So if you want to see prices, see them. But if you shop around, please compare apples with apples. That means, you know, similar features and stuff. And you'll see that Rockies has great deals. They give good trade-in values because they sell most trades right there. They're open Monday through Saturday. Now, Monday through Friday, they're open 9 to 7, and on Saturdays, 9 to 6. They have a vast array of cars of different colors, makes, models, and options, all different price ranges, 40 lenders to choose from. Rockies, 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
Sport night.
What? Why?
Because it just is intriguing.
The game? Bonnie plays it all the time.
Yeah, all these graduation parties we went to, every damn kid in the world's playing it.
They're all playing.
45 million players.
It's sweeping the nation, Mark. It is sweeping the country.
So big.
It's the 16K a day giveaway. Listen every
It looks like basically 100 people drop into a little town.
Right.
And
Oh,
one
my
man
God.
standing.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And it's over in 15 minutes.
And man, when you know, people, it's every man for himself. It's crazy stuff. Bonnie has a little place he ducks down, and he lasts pretty long.
Does he try to always go, this is saying, always try to go to the same spot? See, I'm going to fucking master this. I'm going to become one of those gamers.
Why do you want to?
Because I'm going to make, like Ninja, I'm going to make $5 million a month.
What's it called?
Fortnite. F-O-R-T-N-I-T-E. It's free, too.
Free, you just get on and...
But you gotta buy, is it free? Or you
The only thing they sell is, like if you wanted, not upgraded, but a different looking gun or suit or hat. But apparently everything's equal, though. In other words, even if...
the house.
Oh, I don't want that. I want...
No, it's Todd. I got you.
Where the fuck's my phone? I must have left it downstairs. I hate that.
I asked, why didn't you call us?
That's right.
Save a little money.
I'm going to go in there and call him. Give me his name and number. What was the caller's name, do you remember?
Kyle. He'll know him. I can't even believe he called.
Whoa, no, not the caller, the construction guy.
Todd.
Todd, thank you.
He's the owner of the. He's a GC.
He should have started out on a referral list.
Well, he should have called us first or something.
He should have. I mean, none of it fucking matters. People think it matters. It drives me nuts. Just the fact he called in was good, asking what to do. I don't care.
The HOA thing, the waiver. I'll tell you what I heard the guy say. The next roof he does, he's still not going to get it in writing that it was approved by the HOA. He never said that.
Do you have this guy's high plans?
You know, I actually hate neighborhoods where everything's the same. Everybody's roof is the same. Everything's the same.
What was the darker one, the newer or the older one?
The new ones.
How about if you lived in a quadplex, one level, would you want to see 4 different colors of the roof? Huh?
You ever seen San Francisco, those little things, they're all different.
8014.
Juicy and all natural. Our customers come back time and time again for the quality and flavor.
In downtown San Francisco, they got all those little houses, 25 feet wide, each one's different.
When you get a DUI, a criminal
charge and a civil proceeding against your license.
What about the ones
Get an
like
experienced, aggressive attorney who can help you
all-
in both
yeah.
They're all made ticky-tacky and they all look the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that.
What was that song? That was, what was that song?
Own your home faster.
Except the 1910 bubblegum company. They did.
Ticky-tacky, that's the song
They're
from the
all made
marijuana show.
ticky-tacky and they all look the same.
Yeah, that's the song off that. The marijuana show. Yeah, the lady who starts selling.
Is it currently? Because the song's from like the 60s.
We have a loan that allows you those freedoms, all for 30 years. This could be the last loan you need. Pay off your home.
You always find the real cheap neighborhoods that all, one model house, but it has different trim, so you don't have to make it look, different roof to make them look
If you're
different.
tired of paying all that interest up front on a traditional 30-year fix, call 720-895-0500 and let us save
I
you
understand the point, you
home
can
of
go
the asset manager, locally owned and operated, where it is all about you. 720-895-0500. Regulated by DORA, NMLS 298.
She sells marijuana.
Your home is more than a valued asset. It can be an energy producer too.
But
With
that song
GoKam
is-
Solar,
is,
Denver's most
opening,
trusted solar energy company.
Is it a
More than
current
3,000
show?
solar
Yeah,
projects.
it was on like 12
Looking to
seasons.
protect yourself
Oh.
from rising utility rates? Get your free solar guide packed with tips and solar information at GoKamSolar.com
There's a
/troubleshooter. That's
whole
GoKamSolar.com
network called
/troubleshooter.
Antenna
For a
TV.
free solar
You know,
quote, call
over the air, free.
720-449-2935. 720-449-2935.
I just have an antenna in my garage.
An iHeart radio station.
A lot of weird channel old stuff.
Day trade with all of their extra money. But if you want life insurance and you want an investment at the same time, this is a pretty conservative, safe one. Here's what I tell you. The goal is not life insurance. Life insurance is just an excuse to get this loophole of tax-free growth. So when you get a life insurance policy, you try to make it as small as possible to get the maximum cash value that you can borrow against. You always have to have enough to borrow against, okay? Because in the end, you borrow and the death penalty pays it off. Let me explain it. You overfund it, it grows tax-free. You use it instead of credit cards to buy stuff and pay yourself back exaggerated interest on top of what the insurance company charges, which is 5%. So you charge yourself more than that. And then that extra interest is sheltered as well. At the end, when you want to stop all this and you want to start drawing the money out, you do it through loans, like a paycheck to supplement your Social Security. But you never pay back those loans because they're paid back by the death benefit. If you want to find out more, becomethebanker.info will get you a lot of information and a video, and you can also then sign up for a seminar or call them directly. It's becomethebanker.info. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about, and really, I think we've exhausted this roof thing. There's really not too much to talk.
I got to call into him. I'm sure we're going to get this thing
Well, he's here,
handled.
but I don't know what there is to discuss. I mean, what is there to discuss? It's either the wrong color or the right color. No one got HOA approval beforehand, and we just have to figure it out. I mean, what is there to discuss?
I think he just wants to rest assure the listeners and the homeowner that he's going to, you know, make sure this gets handled.
Of course he is. He's the one. In fact, he's the one that brought it up. Todd, I appreciated you bringing it up. In fact, I didn't even know who you were when you first called, by the way, and you said, I want to take care of this. You're the one that first called about it. And when I did not know where you were from. I didn't know you were on our referral list. I said, listen, Todd, in my estimation, you're out of it. Because I don't think it's up to the contractor to do anything unless, of course, the contract says it's your responsibility. Go ahead, sir.
I was just, at the end of the day, Tom, I kind of feel like it's my responsibility because I mentioned the HOA thing to him, and if I didn't communicate that clear enough to where he understood, that, you know, in my eyes, that's on me. That's I guess what do you?
No,
call
I appreciate that. And listen, High Plains Contracting, we don't get complaints about you guys, and that's a really good thing. The other thing I wanted to mention is he said you matched the color, and the color is a little lighter, and it doesn't match the other houses, but
you might be able to go right over those shingles.
By the way, in Eaton, they allow you to go over the top.
I've already looked into the codes out there and talked to my roofers, and you know, if we have to do it, we'll do it. That's just, you know.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And we're going to try to see if there's any way around it. But, Todd, you don't have a problem with us. I appreciate you bringing it up, man. Thank you very much.
No, no problem.
All right,
I'm gonna talk to the HOA and see if I can possibly get it worked out with them. And if not, he's going to get another roof.
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate it. High Plains Contracting out of Colorado Springs, right, Mark? Is it?
No, I don't think he's out of the Springs. He's
no,
like Thornton
I'm
North.
sorry. Why did I say that?
No,
He's
north, not south.
No, but why Eaton? That's why, because Eaton was far away. Where is Todd? Maybe I'm confused. Isn't Eaton south or not? Where's Eaton, Todd?
No, Eaton is about 20, 25 minutes to the other side of Greeley.
Okay, man, I am totally upside down. Okay, I was picturing out of Colorado. Never mind. I was picturing down south.
Yeah, he's like out of Broomfield or Thornton.
There's a little community I was confusing it with. Okay, so Todd, thank you. High Plains Contracting. I appreciate that. Sorry for the confusion. Doug, you have a property variance question. What's going on, man?
So, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to get a variance in Jefferson County for a garage to be built.
Sure.
And the variance states that it's 15 feet off of the fence line in the backyard. So we assumed there would be no problem with that. Went to the variance meeting. Of course, they shot it down. My question is, there's several of them. I counted 10.
What kind of variance do you want? What do you want?
5 feet.
And is it from anyone else, or is it on a green belt?
No, it's next to the next door neighbor's fence.
Doesn't the neighbor have some say in that generally?
Yes, of course. That's why I'm asking that. In other words,
none of them care. We've asked them all.
And yet, even though they don't care, the HOA is still saying you can't do it.
It's not HOA. It's the city of county, Jefferson County.
And I'll tell you why. Because they don't want future problems.
Well, but there's 10 of them that I counted with just driving through here that have the same setting. 5 feet off the fence.
And what are you trying to put up?
A garage.
Okay. And man, that's weird.
And like I said, there's 10 of them that are
Did you
right there.
okay? Did you ask them about those 10? The city?
Yeah, and they say it's a case by case basis, and they don't want to look into that. So I went even deeper, and I looked into some of them that weren't even and I asked them case by case, and some of them weren't even permitted. And they said, well, you'll have to do a dispute on that if that's your case. Well, that's not what I want to do. I just want to build my garage.
Yeah, you don't want to make it hard for others, right?
No, not at all.
So what's the issue now?
Just denied. You can't do it. So you have to put this thing in the middle of your backyard, which comes to an issue of driving in your backyard and trying to do a 90-degree turn and pull into your garage.
What can I tell you, man? I mean, you can't. They say you can't. You don't. That's the problem. If they won't grant a variance, they won't grant a variance. And that's the issue.
I'm not so sure I'd want one in that circumstance, but he does. If you ever went to move, it could be an issue.
Well...
Or once you get a variance, is that it?
Yeah. You don't have to keep renewing.
No renewal ever.
No. Special use, there's renewal. Special use, but not variances. A variance is done. It's done. It's recorded. But a special use has to be reviewed.
I'm just curious how that board of idiots can decide who gets what.
Did you ask them? Did you say did you bring letters in of approval from neighbors?
Yes.
And why did they care?
I don't know why they care. And like I said, I don't know why down the street they just built one a year ago that is 5 feet or less.
I guess you could hire an attorney and see if an attorney will take it on, somehow, some kind of unfairness. But I don't know, man.
Send some pizzas over to the building department.
It just sounds like they have it out for you or something. Do you ever have a problem with them?
Never.
I don't know what to say, man. I just don't. If you're asking, can you fight that kind of thing, I have never heard of people successfully fighting the cities about stuff unless it was, I don't know, unless you could show that they were crooked and they did something crooked. Mike's got a comment on HOA and changing covenants. Mike, please hold that comment. I really do want to come back to you on it, okay? So hang in there. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney. Joseph A. Lazzara. When you need someone to look and to fight for you, Joseph A. Lazzara. Remember the name. Now, I am hoping you're never accused of a crime. Unfortunately, many people drink and drive. And they don't knowingly drink and drive intoxicated. They're just over the limit a little because they miscalculated. Try Uber, Lyft, or a designated driver, or get one of those portable breathalyzers. But meanwhile, listen, if you made a mistake, even if you want to plead guilty and get it over with, you need Joe to get through the system. Joe Lazzara. Remember the name, Joe Lazzara, 303-429-6200.
I think a variance suggestion kind of my
Report is brought to you by Lifeline.
No, I didn't have any trouble with the garage was, I had the setback, but what happened was the eave overhang.
Where Adams, what county, Jefferson County?
You know,
I'm
they're being such sticklers about
TV series with the Tic Tac weeds.
I wonder. He just made me think of something.
I've never heard
Now, Mark, start feeling.
You knew it from before.
You know what I finished over the weekend, though? Cobra Kai. It was awesome.
Is it a series?
Yeah, it was 10 episodes.
Does it have good plot lines?
Yeah, I like it a lot, man. I love Karate Kid, though. But you said start at the beginning.
Oh, no, for sure. 3 seasons? Oh, so it's really good. 3 seasons, and they're all really good.
I can't wait for Game of Thrones.
Those are what county. There's a county, and they said I needed to get from those neighbors would be affected.
If you watch that,
I did.
God, it's so good.
I hear it from everybody.
It's good. Yeah, they proved it.
It's got to be popular.
I really don't get why this guy's getting that much.
Little boxes, that's the name of the song.
What's it called?
Little boxes.
I like The Prophet too, man. If you've never watched that, it's
Little
good.
boxes, open song.
It's like he goes in and saves business.
I never really.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He owns Camping World. I didn't realize he owned Camping World.
He started 5 Guys. Not started, he went and saved them behind their product.
That's huge.
I mean, and he takes a little piece, you know, each one.
Oh yeah, some of them he owns 50% plus.
Little boxes.
I've seen him make some deals. He's like, I want 75% of this business or fuck off. So I like it. It's pretty cool, man.
But he'll only take businesses that are
Well, and really, if you look at his overall portfolio, almost everything he owns, he can sell to his other businesses. Everything is really, like he'll buy a tailoring company because he owns a clothing ad. I mean, everything is all mixed. Oh, everything. The rest, he owns for example, he owns lots of restaurants, like you said, 5 Guys, but he also owns a restaurant supply house that sells all the plates and the chairs. And then he's got an ad agency and a sign company and everything. I mean, his portfolio is pretty incredible.
No.
There's so many of those shows, though.
Yeah, if you ever watched the one, it's a bunch of rednecks out in Texas. They're kind of weird.
I don't like them.
I got through one episode, I was like, It seemed too phony.
Shark Tank.
I like Shark Tank.
Time to talk about you know who made a cameo in Billions? Was
Mark
Cuban.
Best for you. In other words, if you want a loan that's 13 years,
He's
23 years, 15 years, 27 years, whatever the term they'll do it. It's a flexible term loan. Ideal home
The smartest one, I think, on Shark Tank is Mr. Wonderful.
Opportunity lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 13675.
That guy's on the ball, man.
Call 844-45 Ideal.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. If you want to buy a home, we can help you get a great mortgage that may require as little as 3% down. And we also invented Rocket.
Tesla's Model 3 got the poo-poo from a consumer's report.
I'm sure.
They said the stopping distance sucks. They said a lot of negative stuff about it.
At 800 Quicken or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Results may vary.
When you're a Chevy, you don't want to Chevy to the levee and the levee.
Oh yeah.
Did Steph watch that royal wedding crap, or you guys don't watch that? Did she really?
That's why.
God, why are they so infatuated with that?
Set up screener questions.
We chased those pricks out of here 200 years ago. Why are we watching their weddings? Honest to God, I can't understand.
I can't for the life of it either.
$1 billion a year they spend to support those funds.
Post a job today.
That's what the Royals
for nothing. They do nothing.
They put on a hell of a party.
We gave him $1 million?
K&H Home Solutions
has a special on Everlast siding. First, you have to understand, Everlast siding has a lifetime of durability. It's waterproof and color fast, color impregnated through and through. Comes in a wide palette of colors with a rich cedar look and texture. And you will get $6,200 off your entire siding purchase. And that's to honor the 62 years in business of K&H Home Solutions. They started out as K&H Windows, changed to K&H Home Solutions under Ted, and I knew both owners, the original and Ted, who took over many, many years ago. And right now, you can make an appointment on your own at khwindows.com, khwindows.com, or call them at 303-421-7100 to get Everlast siding. It is simply the best siding on the market today, and you get $6,200 off your siding purchase, and that's khwindows.com. Howard, I wanted to, the other guy had a comment, but he hung up. Okay, so Howard, and we have lines open. I want to remind you can get right through, and I promise you the next hour will be rocking and rolling. Hey, Howard, what's going on?
Hey, I had your $100 carpet cleaning guy out to the house on Friday, and he was outstanding.
It's Mike. Isn't it almost damn hard?
Don't give the deal out again.
Isn't it impossible to believe?
He drove from Parker to Van Air. You know where Van Air is, right?
Yeah, sure.
East of Brighton. He came out and cleaned my carpets for $100, and we had a great conversation. Great small businessman, just an honorable guy. Gave him a huge tip, and he was off to North Glen to clean another lady's carpet.
How much did you give him as a tip? I'm curious, because I want other people that took advantage to understand.
$50.
You the man.
You're a great guy, and really, I mean, he was cleaning entire houses.
Oh, look how far he drove for that guy.
For $100, no matter how big or small it is. And now his normal price is only what, $129.95?
Yeah,
or $129.
He booked out 100 spots, though. So let's let him catch up.
The guy, he's unbelievable. He really, really, really is. I mean, the only guy that works harder than him is Frank Duran, the real estate man.
Oh, man. Frank.
No, seriously.
Frank's selling a house for one of the parties we went to over the weekend.
And you know who else? Our health insurance people. For the money.
Oh, John Jones.
John Jones at Integra Insurance. They work more for less money. Their model, I don't know how it works.
Kaiser pays them like 1%.
Yeah. And then Frank Duran, the real estate man, when you figure how much more you make than you thought you were going to get, and even if you consider his commission, he is working for next to nothing compared to what he does for you, is what I mean. It's amazing. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, because he represents you, whether you're buying or selling. Okay, so Phil, what's going on with you, Phil?
Yeah, I was just wondering to see if you guys could give me a help. I just want to know if I need to do a survey. My neighbor, we inherited a house probably about 7 years ago. He has like a stucco wall that comes out. It seems like it's into my part of my house, where my house is at. It's been there for a long time, since my father-in-law had it.
Like how long do you think it's been there?
Oh, maybe 15, 20 years, yeah.
Okay. If it's over quite a bit and he's taking that other property and your father-in-law never did anything, you can demand that it be corrected, or you can do some other things. But he could go for that adverse possession because it was there so long. So you may have some issues. But my main question is this, Phil. Is it because you don't like the way it looks, or it just bugs you? I mean, what if it turns out to be on your property? Does it make a hell of a difference for value or anything?
Well, not for that side, but now he's starting to put in some trees and some evergreens where the house is
Okay,
at.
then I would definitely get a survey, but not just of property lines, but get what's called an improvement survey as well. That places the improvements, where they're located, the setbacks, along with the borders. It would be well worth the money, so I would do that. And then take it, you call us back. We have attorneys that can handle that issue, or we can give you some good common sense tips. Save all your problems for me. I'm consumer.
Do you think I'd have any issue getting a variance from Douglas on the fence line at my house? My neighbors wouldn't give a shit.
Well, what do you want to get a variance on?
Instead of 25 feet from the fence line,
like 10 or 15. It just lets me put my garage in a completely different place.
I'll give it a shot.
I just thought of that today.
You know what,
well, the only reason I didn't want to do it before is for some reason I thought they'd look at a variance in like 10 years and tell me to fuck off or something.
No, they don't. But why would you get a variance, though?
Because I got to be 25 feet from the fence line, and if I'm about 15, it's good. But it's so far from their house. I mean, it's
But your garage, you got to get a variance. I mean, don't just build it. Because
No. I just have to put it in a different place. I know exactly where I
know,
can.
but what I'm saying is, before you do it, don't do it, then get a variance. That'll screw you up.
No, of course not. That's what I'm saying. Do you think Douglas, though, just being out in the middle of nowhere, do you think they give a shit?
It depends.
If the neighbor says it's cool.
Get all that first and then submit your variance.
That's right. Most of the time, you know what? Most of the time they do care, and I don't know why. But almost everyone cares about variances. I don't know why.
I mean, I can understand in like Highlands Ranch why they care. I mean, I can. I honestly can. But my fucking fence line with my neighbor, you can't even see their fucking house where I'm talking about. So I don't even know why it would matter.
Next neighbor.
But they might not care. That's the problem.
Well, then you get there.
No. My neighbors definitely don't care. I'm saying Douglas might not care if the neighbors don't care.
That's how I did it.
Let's put it this way. You're never going to get a variance if you're opposed.
Yeah, see, I'll bring them fucking pizzas when I go down with my paperwork. I'm not kidding.
Absolutely.
I only had a 5 foot to worry about.
Anytime I go to court on speeding tickets, I show up with stubs.
Jimmy John's, because they're freaky.
Jimmy John's, Your Honor, by the way, do you like Unwich?
Now, tomorrow, Mark, I have a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, but it's not till like 3 or something, right?
No, let me see.
I don't care either way.
I got another question about these.
I thought you told me it was
graduations. Yours is during the week again, right? You got to take a whole day off, don't you?
Wednesday
It's
is
11
graduation.
a.m., Mark.
Oh, okay. We're all good.
So I'll start and then leave.
Or just go. Either way, whatever you want to do.
You got to
No,
take the
it's
whole day
actually
off.
at Stephanie. It's right near Stephanie's house. Why don't you just start the show? It's silly.
Are they fixing it?
Well, we hope.
Because you said the expert said he didn't do it when you went to him.
Right, he said, we don't do that work, and we don't think there's anything in there. So now
What do you mean there's nothing in there?
I don't see he said, I don't see a broken screw.
So he thinks the whole thing came out?
No, the implant's fine. He says, why are you here? I said, they said there was a broken screw. I don't do that anyway, but let me take a look. He says, I don't see a broken screw. And frankly, your screw looks perfect. So if it was broken, it'd be jagged, it'd be shorter. It's the same length as a regular screw. So he said, let me just put it in for the hell of it. He put it in, tightened it in. It's been tight ever since. But he says, I still have it checked because it got loose, right? So I'm going to go to this guy tomorrow. He's going to take it out, look at it.
Is it loose now?
No.
So ever since he tightened it?
That guy tightened it. But the other guy tightened it before, my original dentist, and it got loose within days. This has been tight since he put it in. I don't know. Mark, I don't know.
Did he have that little, it's a kind of torque wrench?
That's what it is. It's
It's
literally a torque wrench.
Yeah.
It's got a little star?
It's truly a torque wrench, and it's a ratchet too.
That's great.
All the tools are exactly like.
How does it, so it goes in and you
An
ratchet it.
an
How does
implant-
the
an
implant sit?
Your jawbone is here. An implant is literally
Into your
a hollow threaded tube. That's what an implant is. A hollow
Then
threaded.
how does the tooth attach to it?
A tooth goes on top on the abutment here. This is the tooth.
How do they turn it?
Okay, then right here there's a hole on the top.
Oh.
And there's a screw. Then after they screw it in, they put a little piece of filling on top. Filling. So when you want to take it off, they just chip out that filling, go in, unscrew it, take it out. Right now,
It's almost like a railing.
it's got a little, and they put a cap on. That's exactly right.
That's crazy.
And that little.
I was wondering how they screwed the fucking tooth up.
Oh, yeah,
But they just pop that and
They-
go in.
The screw just, the tooth just sits there, then that screw goes in.
So that thing is really, I mean, that's a tiny little
That
screwdriver.
goes through the middle of the tooth, into and the middle of the tooth has some metal in it.
So what came loose on yours, or you don't know? The side that goes into the tooth, or
Well, this hollow tube is solid because that's where you're fucked. If they have to take this out, then they have to put more bone in there.
So what's baffling about this is why someone told you
He had a
it's broke.
broken screw because the dentist wanted to check his hollow tube. So he took off this, and he couldn't get his tool in. There's a tool that goes in there that tightens it. He wanted to shit.
So he assumed it was broke.
He couldn't get his tool any farther than there. He said, something down here is blocking me. And he says, I think the screw is broken off. Except what he didn't do is just compare the screw to a new one. And that's what this guy did. He says, that the screw's not broken. It's the same length as the new one. He says, I don't know why he couldn't get his tool in there, but it's
Good. Actually, that's good news. Well, I guess the only thing it doesn't answer is why did it come loose? Just time.
It should.
Have you had to retighten any at any point?
Well, this is the only one I have. So, this one right here.
Oh, your rest are veneers.
Yeah. This one right here, it just came loose. And then he says it's possible.
Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by a very sobering kind of thing, the Raleigh House. You know, it's not a very happy thing to start off the hour, but it's something very, very real to all of us, addiction. I'm a consumer advocate. We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. We call it Media with a Purpose. We're going to take all of your calls. Let me just say I appreciate you putting trust in me and us, and we love what we do. And I love referring people to the Raleigh House. This is for people who have addiction in their family or in their circle of friends, an addict. If you need information, and you do, call them. Because when you first find out someone's an addict or you suspect it, you don't know what to do. I mean, you're almost embarrassed to say anything to anybody. You know, hey, man, I think my husband's using, or I think my wife's using, or I think they're alcoholic. Now, it covers all addiction, alcohol, substance abuse, you know, illegal drugs, prescription drugs. They will talk to you about it all. Now, here's the thing they've established, an information line for people who've just been hit with a ton of bricks. Okay, what do I do? How much does it cost to treat? How many treatment programs are there? What are they? Okay, like the Raleigh House, for example, has a program, and then other places have programs, and they're different. Ask about it. Ask if insurance covers it. How much it is. What about telltale signs of addiction? Is the habit getting worse? What do I do as far as approaching the addict? All of these questions. There are no out-of-bound questions. 720-893-5559. That call could save a life by you getting armed with information. You can call as a group. You can call alone. They'll keep a record for you so you can call back. 720-893-5559. You don't have to do it alone. TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559. Okay, so we have the full gang here today. We have Stan, the HOA man. We've been talking about a few HOA issues. And any issues you want to talk about, he's got a meeting coming up he wanted us to know about tomorrow night at the HOA Forum. What do you do there, Stan? Tuesday, 6 to 9, tomorrow night. How do they get to you? By ColoradoHOAForum.com. ColoradoHOAForum.com. What are you going to do from 6 to 9?
We are...
Turn your mic on, sir.
Sorry. Okay. Now, we're going to be reviewing an update on legislative bills. In other words, bills that were passed, vetoed, and that type of thing.
Yes.
We're going to go over state resources for problem resolution and that type of thing.
So if people have issues, they can come and find out how to fight those issues, right?
Right. And one thing that we're focusing on this time was the repeal of the property management licensing program.
So they're not allowing managers to be licensed anymore? Are they allowing that law to go away?
It came up for renewal, and it was put on hold. In July 19th, this coming year, you will no longer have to be licensed. That was the only...
That sucks.
But it sure does. Now, the program was weak in some respects, but it was the only protection.
It's better than nothing.
Right.
So to be a property manager, you used to have a license, and that's going to expire July 19th?
It's gone.
All right, so can you guys make a difference there?
Well, we're gonna work on resubmitting the bill, but you'd be surprised at the influence of the lobbyists.
Does it have to be resubmitted, or can it just be extended?
No, the extension was vetoed. It was put on the shelf.
Holy crap. Mark, that's major, that property managers are no longer going to be licensed. No, that's major. ColoradoHOAForum.com. ColoradoHOAForum.com if you want to take part in this little workshop tomorrow night starting at 6. We have Ideal Home Loans standing by. Ideal Home Loans. on our broadband. That means he has a direct connection, and he wants to talk about. Listen, the home loan industry right now is very volatile. People don't know what to do, and a lot of guys you get are these brokers, and they promise you things, but they have to go find a lender after that. You see, they're brokers, they're middlemen, and Ideal is a direct lender. So why is that better, Brent?
Well, Tom, when you deal with a direct lender like Ideal, when we quote you fees, when we quote you interest rates, timelines, those are all controlled right here inside of our office. So we can stand behind those things. When you're dealing with a broker, you're dealing with a middleman, so they're oftentimes at the mercy of the bank. We're finding even now as people are out writing offers, they're asking the question, is this organization a broker? Are they a direct lender? Are they local? Are they out of state? So we're finding that a direct lender locally is making a huge difference if you're out trying to buy a home, because listing agents are taking note of the fact that they need control and they need someone who can stand behind timelines and make sure they hit deadlines.
So if you have a pre-approval, for example, you have a pre-approval from the lender, not from a broker, and they can get it done in just a few days. 303-867-7000, 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Jose's got a radar ticket. We've talked about these a lot, Jose. The advice never changes for us. Did you have a question specifically?
Yeah, actually, you know, I received the notice in mail back in March, but what's kind of puzzling me is it's got a name of an officer as a complaint officer.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, and I don't understand that part of it.
Well, was it a temporary radar where he was sitting there with it? If it's a temporary one, that's why it could have been that.
Like a Fodar van.
No, it was actually at an intersection where they have photo radar.
Well, here's I wouldn't let that worry you one way or the other. You handle it the same way, and that is you either ignore it. And if you ignore it, you do so at your own peril sometimes. I've ignored mine. They never came back to haunt me. But people who ignore them could get a letter from a collector saying, now we're sent to collections. You can ignore that too. The only thing you cannot ignore, in my opinion, is direct service, because that's a court summons. You never want to ignore a court summons. But I ignore letters unless there is a legal reason that you're compelled to answer a letter. Like sometimes you might get a letter from the government and it says under section such and such you're required to file a response. If that's the case, then check with an attorney or just answer them. But whenever whenever there's a law that requires you to answer, then you answer. But in this case, a radar ticket is an accusation. They're accusing you of speeding. So if you want to ignore, I ignore mine. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you ignore it, there's a good possibility you're going to be served with a summons. But you can still go fight it. I don't know how you fight radar tickets. I guess there was one attorney who said you go there and you don't have to incriminate yourself. They can't make you say it's you or not. You can say, you know, whatever. But here's the deal. If you get a summons, you can then call and settle. Settlement is usually open to you. I know this. Those who fight them and go through with it get bigger fines and points. If you settle, I think they remove the points. So listen. Go ahead.
No, one thing, I wasn't even driving my vehicle that day.
So it wasn't you.
Saturday.
So you can honestly say it's not you.
Yeah, I was actually working.
Well, then if it's not you, it's not you. I mean, they have to prove it's you. You know, and here's the other thing. They can't make you say who it was.
Okay.
I mean,
what I was wondering.
I mean, well, or you could say it was. I guess maybe they can. Maybe you have to.
I don't think they could if it was your spouse.
But here's the deal. I don't know that. All I know is this. Okay, they have to prove it was you, and if it's not you, even if it was your wife, or your brother or your friend, you don't have to give any. I mean, what are they going to do? They can't prosecute them through you. They'd have to resend the ticket.
Okay.
You know, we ought to ask an attorney about that. Okay, I'm going to ask
We
Joe.
have, and it's crazy.
No, I want to ask Joe Lazzara about specifically. I have some specific questions. Suzanne, see if you get Joe on. We can let Jose go. He can listen. But I do have some specific questions now on radar tickets about IDing people. I really do. All right, 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Alan. Alan, what's going on, man?
Am I on?
Yes, you are, Alan. What's happening?
So I ordered this lift kit in January from a place in California called Cal Mini, and they just simply won't ship or deliver or return anything.
Well, you did it on credit card, right?
Yeah, as a debit card.
Oh, crap. Debit cards don't have the same...
they have close... If you use it as a credit card, if you put in a PIN number, you're right, he's done.
Did you put a PIN number in?
No.
Was the money withdrawn from your account?
Yeah, they got it.
But if it was used as a credit card, you can still contest it for fraud.
Really?
Yeah. It is fraud. I mean, you paid and you didn't get it.
Yeah,
it's the whole purpose people use debit cards.
For so long, and it says, you know, even if you made an order today on the internet, it said would ship to 7 to 10 days.
Well, you know, listen, I don't know why people... First of all, never use a debit card again, okay? Always use credit cards. You make a credit card specifically for internet, and I'll tell you why. If you have a problem, you can drop it, you can close the account, you can open a new one somewhere else, but keep one you don't care that much about for all your internet transactions. I would report it, and that would be it. Alan, that's the easiest thing to do. You don't want to mess with these scumbags. If we call them, they don't give a damn. When you're dealing with the internet, credit cards are your protection. I mean, I don't want to be overly simplistic, but that really is it. Tim, what's going on with you, man? What's going on, Tim?
Yeah, I was calling about, I watch this show once in a while. It's like on 200 some on Dish Network. This guy sells coins all the time, talking about their MS-63 grade, their blah, blah, blah. I was just wondering if this guy was for real or if you knew anything about him.
You know, we do have someone on our referral list that deals in coins.
He's a numismatics makuku-kla-kla.
The name, numismatologist, I don't know. We're going to get him on if you want to hold on. Let's see if we can get him on right now. And that's Mark.
I always wondered about that, too. A lot of the gold coins they sell on TV, they're probably all real gold, but they probably mark them up because they've been minted in some fashion. Is there any value to that, or is it just ounces?
You know, first of all, if they do a special mint, most of the time those are...
It's not even the mint like we think of it.
No, they're not worth crap. They just mint something to commemorate something. It's not an official thing. It's just a mint.
We should do a referralist.com
It's not
coin.
money. It would be worth the weight it is of that metal, but it doesn't have any intrinsic collector's value unless for some reason people decided they want to collect it, and then it's up to them. 303-713-8255. Getting through these calls quickly. We will get someone to talk about that, Tim, okay? And now, Scott, what's your comment on the HOA thing? What is your comment on that roofing problem?
I lived in a neighborhood that had a completely worthless HOA, and they got buried with questions from a hailstorm. And a bunch of people had roofs put on, but they didn't get them approved. The HOA came back and said they had to take them off, so on and so forth. A couple of the homeowners fought it, and they ended up paying about a $1,000 fine, which is about $8,000 less than getting a whole new roof put on.
Oh, wait, they paid the fine but were able to keep the roof?
Yes.
Huh, that's odd to me, because usually if you lose, you pay the fine and you take it off. So I'm not sure about that. Scott, what HOA was that?
Access Management. They're up in Greeley.
Sounds like they just came to a settlement. They said, hey, pay the fine, don't do it again, we'll let you keep the roof.
Maybe that's it. Alaramas Pro Auto Care, let's talk about this, because the heat is upon us. I've used my air conditioning system already, and because I've had it cleaned and sanitized, I have fresh air, and Alaramas did that for me, and it's lasting, Al. So how often do you have to have it done?
You know, it depends on how much you use your air, but, you know, it's not a bad idea to do it at least every 2 years.
Okay.
You know, but if it starts smelling, you notice when you get in the car. Car's been sitting there, you fire up the AC, there's this nasty little smell. Guess what that is? Mold, mildew, bacteria. Yeah. All the debris that's up in your cowling gets sucked in by your vents, puts into your evaporator. There's water in there. It's a great place to breathe that stuff. So we put a process where we put an effervescent foam, we desanitize it, we clean it, it gets smelling better to prevent that sneezing. So I'm doing for your listeners 5 callers, each location, half price, $59.95 parts and labor to do that service.
That's a great service, Al.
I'll save you what I take out of your car too.
No, when you see this, how black and disgusting it is, and all the mold, mildew, dust, 50% off. It's only $59.95, and that's the Martino special at Pro Auto Care, 2 locations, near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. Call only the first 5 for each location, 303-PRO-AUTO. That's 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then it goes away, but it does stink. Hey, Stan, this property management, right now, my understanding is you have to be a real estate broker.
It has nothing to do with real estate. You don't have to be real estate or anything.
To be a property manager?
Right. No. Just need a license.
And these are only HOA
You do not have to
property
be
managers.
a real estate broker. You do not have to be.
Oh my God, we've been under that misunderstanding because I've been having a daughter going to real estate school because she she didn't have to.
No, you can be your manager. Just be the manager. Well, wait, you don't have to now anyway. So
Well, we do. My wife and I do property management, but she was a broker when we started.
You're not doing HOA property management, are you?
No.
There's a difference between that and a property manager for an apartment complex. It's not an HOA.
yeah, so maybe you do, for that maybe if you do an apartment complex, you might have to be a broker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if you go and hire up.
This is just for HOA you're talking about. Okay.
Well, that doesn't just mean the HOA people. That means anyone who was hired by the HOA had to be licensed, but it's expiring. But you're right. You're talking about a different one. You're talking about because you show the apartments, you collect rents, you take care of that. That's a whole different.
They want to just do homes, private homes, but okay, let's not affect that.
No.
I asked Atwater if he could do endorsements. He's still employed by the Broncos.
Who is
Steve Atwater. He played years ago. I just can't believe he's still employed by the Broncos.
DORA.
What does he do?
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't ask. He does that Broncos show next door.
He might be talented.
Well, he's got to be of some sort.
And then it'll tell you in there if that's part of the
What position do you
My
play?
wife and I property management. I don't know. For hangers and stuff like that.
Running back.
We
What
started-
I understand.
yeah.
Quarterback.
When we started that,
I really don't know.
How
How many years ago did he play?
Real estate.
I hear that.
I mean, he's Hall of Fame.
Dennis Green, where did he
Ring
go?
of Fame. Ring of Fame.
I'm not sure if it has no relation.
Ring of Fame.
The skill sets are
I know, but
totally
you're right.
unrelated.
Yeah.
Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire? Yeah.
That was a good song.
Hi, Tom Martino here. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for your garage door needs, all of them. Whether you're getting a brand new garage door, whether you're getting an opener, whether you're getting any part of the garage door or the spring broke, you have an emergency, or you want that free Martino inspection. Now, they're looking for things wrong because they want to be your company, but they'll do the free inspection, safety tune-ups, adjustments, hinge bolt tightening, all of that, and there's no charge unless they find a problem. Then they give you an estimate, but that's the Martino inspection. Give them a call, 303-565-6409. Garage door openers for as little as $333 with battery backup, Wi-Fi technology, 303-565-6409, oneclearchoicedoors.com. Okay, now, let's talk to Mark Machado. Where is Mark? He's hung up? Oh, he's not available. Doggone it. We wanted to get, you know what, we'll bring him back tomorrow. Let's try to get Mark Machowski back on. He's our coin expert because he won. But here's something we do know from past questions we've had on it, Tim. Minted coins mean nothing, okay?
Right.
When the Franklin Mint or anyone else mints a coin, that just means they want to mint a coin and sell it. It has no extra value other than the actual coin, the content of gold or silver. The only extra value is the value anyone would put on it. If all of a sudden they minted 50 of them or 500 of them and 5,000 people want them, then you got value. But it has no special value.
Do you think, Mike?
I think this guy deals more in real coins, not the Franklin Mint.
And what about it?
Well, he's always just talking about they're in MS-63 grade and they're this and that, and I don't really understand that, and I was just wondering if...
Well, if you're paying more than the going price for the ounce of gold, I think your answer lies there.
Well, no, he wants to know, how does he know he's getting a true value?
Right.
There are...
Exactly.
There are, you know, like the Rappaport table for diamonds. If you get a Rappaport guide, it will tell you today's value for a certain diamond weight with certain grades. You go weight. First of all, you go quality, and you let's say VVS1. Then you go across to so you have VVS1. Then you go across to 1.5 carats, and there'll be a price there per carat, and that's what or what the ring is worth, or they give you a price per carat. So all you have to do is use a good guide. I don't know what coin sellers use. Rappaport, everyone uses for diamonds. Now, you can be above or below Rappaport, but that gives you a guide, kind of like the NADA for cars and the Kelly's Blue Book and other things.
There could be value to the actual minting part, like Elvis Presley plates.
If people want it, yes.
Yeah, correct.
But there's no automatic value. The automatic value comes in the price of gold or silver. So as far as those grades he's putting on it, I don't know what they mean. But we'll find out, and we'll get you back on with Mark Machowski. And what is the name of his coin place? Top Dollar Gold and Silver or something like that?
Top Dollar Golden Coin.
Yeah, if you go to his website for Budget A1 Auto, you'll find...
Or just search referral list.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He's on the referral list as a coin thing. Let's talk to Eric. Eric, what's going on in your life, Eric?
Hey, Tom. Just
hey, man.
I want to comment on a caller a little bit ago. I was talking about a company called Cal Mini that they make automotive accessories, lift kits and whatnot.
Yeah, the Cal Mini, right.
Yeah, just for his reference and for other people out there, Cal Mini they're a large company, but they are a notoriously bad company, and this is common that you'll place an order, and I know guys who've taken a year to get their parts.
Oh, my God.
Get every excuse under the sun. They'll refuse to give you refunds, or they'll ship part of the order and say, well, the other part is on hold or is on back order, and we'll get it to you when we get it to you. And
I wouldn't go for that, man.
Yeah, they're notoriously bad.
Well, thank you for telling us that. Now we know. I mean, listen, but the good news is they're not just flat-out rip-offs is what you're saying.
They're not a rip-off, but they're just a horrible, horrible company.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We actually have lines open. You can get right in. Now, I'll let you do your 30-second, or no, let's make it 15-second rant, and I'll let you go longer if it's good. But here are the rules. You can rant about anything, and I will say not one word unless I have to interrupt you for vulgarity. We have a time delay. We're just going to cut you off for vulgarity. Other than that, you can say anything you want about anyone you want.
I got to ask you a question, man. I want a full, honest answer, sir. You ready?
Yes.
Did you watch that royal crap over the weekend?
No, but here's what I want to say, okay? This
Clint did.
Mark, this gets to me, okay? Let me just say something. I have no problem with people who love the entertainment value and the fairy tales and all that, American Princess. I just want to say one thing that just reeks phoniness. Tell me if you agree. First of all, the idea of a monarchy just blows my mind that in today's world, that nation is spending $1 billion to support a bunch of royal a-holes who sit on their backs and do nothing. Well, okay, I
can't believe it's that much money.
Actually, they're good people. I really shouldn't have said that. As people, I have nothing to say about them. Actually, I believe they do a lot of good. So I take that back. But I mean, to pay a bunch of royals, it just burns me up. But what really burns me up, if this truly, do you believe, let me ask you the God's honest truth, do you believe if Meghan Markle and Prince Harry met under any other circumstances and he was not a prince, that she would be attracted to him
No
at
way.
all? Would
he's a goofball looking dude.
Well, it's not even the way he looks. Now people will say, well, that's who he is. And obviously, when you fall in love with a package. You do. Not just one thing about them. It's the whole person. But truly, would she even be attracted to him as a person if he wasn't the prince? I mean, you see this all the time with men and women.
Or if she wasn't hot, would he even been attracted to her?
Now, here's the other thing. Okay? This is what I find amazing. They're having a wedding. Weddings are usually for friends and family. Why did Oprah get invited? Why did George Clooney get invited? Why do all these celebrities get invited? Were they friends of the family? No, it's for show and tell. I mean, truly, why did they get invited? I mean, tell me why they got invited. Why did they decide to invite celebrities around the United States and Britain? Why? I'll tell you why. For show and tell. They wanted to hobnob for show and tell. What other reason is there? It's not like they had some personal relationship with these people.
Has there ever been a wedding in the White House? Have we ever done this in this country in modern day times?
Well, we haven't had any unmarried presidents that got married or any kids.
Kids are
well,
always...
no, we may have had. Who knows? But no, they don't.
We don't put on a show like this.
Well, there's pomp and circumstance for sure. There's all kinds of. But no, here's what I'm saying.
Not like this thing.
I don't understand the whole royalty part and why someone, it's bestowed upon them because they're of a bloodline. That just blows my mind that we're still putting up with that crap. I mean, because really, if you research the monarchy, they believe the powers come from God. They believe that privilege comes from God, and they rule for God, and that they do it for people, and that people need them. They need them. It's just incredible. But
and you're calling BS on this? How do you know?
Oh, my God. Well, they're not elected to begin with. I mean, just think of that concept. Could you imagine having a ruling family? What if they weren't nice? Well, first of all, they don't even have any real power. Actually, I might respect them more if they had real power. They don't have power. They're just there. They're just there. That's my rant. But I want to know why. I want to know why, and I have nothing against Oprah Winfrey. She's one of the most inspiring women of all time. But why was she invited? Why?
She's our American royalty.
But why? Why was she invited? Why?
Why? Our Hollywood people.
You invite people, no, but you invite people to a wedding that you know.
And how the hell do you get up and watch this? Why? Explain that to me. Forget about Oprah. Clint, Deputy Clint is up at 3 a.m. watching a royal wedding?
Actually, Prince Harry is probably the only one in that royal family I do respect because he served so much time in Afghanistan.
Okay, you know, he seems like a pretty normal, good guy. I mean, it's not his fault, by the way. It's not his fault he's born into royalty. It really isn't. I mean, he was. And wouldn't you take advantage of it? I mean, they're given an allowance. Everything they have is on the backs of other people. Everything. So, you know, then they say, well, look at all the charity they're doing. But they're doing charity with other people's money. It's not like they've earned it. They do nothing to earn that money. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people
You're
love
speechless
it.
over there. It's weird.
I just can't believe it. Anyway, we have to take a break. 303-713-TALK. If you do have a comment on that, fine. But, of course, problems, questions, and complaints on the Troubleshooter Show. And I'll let you have a rant. All you have to do is call. You can get right through. 303-713-TALK.
This is... I mean, why is George Clooney there? I mean, it's just to be seen. There's nothing there.
He look like Prince Harry or what?
Who's a singer? Elton John, he was there.
Eagles quarterback?
But he's done a lot for that family, I think. Well, no, Elton John? He wrote a song when Diana died. So there.
He didn't.
Actually, he didn't even.
That's right. He just put a name in there.
He changed the words of
That's
that
right.
song.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, if I ever know anybody that dies, I'm rewriting it for them.
That was his song.
I don't care. That whole royal family thing's one reason I think we rejected England.
Well, they tried to tax us.
Well,
It was a tea. Damn it, Clint, it was a tea.
And it was shitty tea.
Part of it was the tea, but I think a lot of it was Church of England. It was a big
They
thing.
wanted to tax the tea, we said. And then we hid in the
all-
trees with our squirrel guns and shot those pricks. They were so dumb they'd line up and march at us like, oh, okay, let's fight that way.
Let's wear bright red.
Yeah, bright red, and let's come marching at you.
Taxation without representation.
Yeah, but a lot of it too was Church of England. You know,
You know where a lot of
That's
the
what
British
Mayflower
ran off
came
to?
from.
Do you know where a lot of the British we chased them off to?
No.
Canada. There's still pockets of Canada from
Canada.
ancestors of all these
Canada
people.
still likes the royal family because they're part of the.
Yeah.
What they are. They're not the.
They're a protectorate. They're not
I don't know, but they're
not a protectorate. It's another word for it. But
just like Australia is.
yeah, they're
Canada,
kind of a colony still.
Well,
first of all, their French fries are nothing but hot potato chips. And second, they suck at hockey.
Who does?
Canada.
We're going to get to calls now.
By the way, Mark, I can't believe how good Billions is. That show, holy shit.
Is it on? Are you in the middle of it right now, or are you done?
And I'm in the middle of the new season,
Yeah, I'll be done.
3. I'll watch. Have you seen it, Dan? You've never watched Billions?
I've never even heard about it until 3 days ago.
Oh my God! Watch it. Start from season 1, episode 1.
Is it what? Does you got Trump in there?
No.
No.
Why would Trump be?
It's a billions.
He's not even worth a billion. Come on.
No, that's the only reason I'd watch it. No, I'm kidding.
You like good entertainment.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse than starting to watch a bad series. Oh God!
You guys got me hooked on. You guys got me hooked on
first episode.
the serial killer guy, the blood spatter.
Serial killer guy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Did you guys watch
You're
Dawson?
talking about,
What's that guy's name?
Yeah, they
serial killer.
yeah, the you know,
He was Showtime. It was great.
the serial killer. He's on.
Oh,
it was Showtime.
yes.
Wasn't it regular TV?
No, it was Showtime. He was absolutely great.
Yeah, you guys got me hooked on that.
That's a good
That was
series.
good. It was good.
What the hell is it? What is
I
it
can't
called?
think of his name.
God, I'm terrible today.
Dexter.
Dexter. Yeah.
No, that was Showtime original.
I really like.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's still it's.
Well,
Or
you
maybe
watch it.
HBO. Either HBO or
It's
Showtime.
on Showtime now.
all on Netflix now. All of it.
Yeah.
Yo,
Without a subscription.
Hulu's crazy good, man.
Where else could a murderer become the hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at the dirtbag.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but even when
I
he
saw
killed the
that
dirtbags, he killed them in such a
Go
mean
to
way.
drudgereport.com. Look what the Pope said. It's the highlight. That is huge, man.
This new pope is
This dude
out of
is-
this world.
Very.
And as a Catholic, you're offended.
I'm offended as a Drudge Report watcher.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Thomas wants a rant. Thomas, I'm going to let you go, and you got 15 seconds more if we like what you're saying. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go, bro, go.
I am sick and tired of the kiosks at Park Meadows Mall with the people that jump out at you and they want to sell my mom and my girlfriend and all of them their lotion, and it is such a ripoff. And I know personally that they all are ripoffs, and all of their customers know they're ripoffs, but they just can't say no. They do not take no for an answer. All of that money that they collect, it does not go back into the economy. It gets sent directly back home to Israel.
Okay, stop. If that was 30 seconds and it was really good, and I agree, but I don't know if it all goes back to Israel.
We
blah,
had
blah,
one.
and all that, but they are such ripoffs.
We had one, and it was this year or very late last year. The guy spent $4,500 on his skin cream.
For his wife, skin cream. But you know what? It is like being at a carnival. You get assaulted. They come out, hey, and they want to squirt something or they want to show you something. And, it's got to be a point where they're so rude, you feel rude because you got to walk away and you got to be like, no, And then they make you feel embarrassed for doing it.
I don't like the DirecTV guys. You ever been in Costco or Sam's and the DirecTV guy assaults you?
I haven't experienced that.
No, they just offer you food and stuff.
No, they had these DirecTV guys are
those
aggressive
guys.
as hell in Sam's.
DirecTV, and then also furnace people at Sam's or
Costco leaving.
Hey, Marie, we got lines open. 303-713-TALK. You can ask a question, problem, complaint. We got Stan, the HOA man here, or you can do a rant for 15 seconds or more. Marie, what's on your mind?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm probably going to be getting laid off of my job here in a couple months, and wanted to get your thoughts on debt protection, like for credit cards that I have. Should I sign up for that?
What do you mean, debt protection? I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Yeah, I have a credit card at Sam's and Walmart and things like that, and I was going online today making my regular monthly payments, and this pop-up
about debt protection. You can buy this protection if you lose your job. If you become disabled, they'll either pay off your debt or take care of monthly payments.
Okay, now I've heard of credit, life, and disability, but I've never heard it cover if you get fired. I've never heard of that.
Not like laid off.
Or if you're laid off. Does it actually say that if you're laid off?
If you have a layoff, yes.
How and what? First of all, they usually have all kinds of conditions, like you have to be laid off for a certain period of time, and then they cover you for a certain period of time, and you have to look for a job. And I mean, here's what I say, Marie. It's all in the contract. I mean, really, that's what it is. You look for the exemptions, you look for the conditions, and then you decide, is it worth paying for? How much is it?
It's $1.66 per every $100.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, but what do? Let's say if they only pay off your lowest minimum payment each month, all you're going to do is get further in debt while it's kicked in.
I would need to read it to make a really wise decision for myself, and then I could tell you what I would do. So if you can forward me anything on it, or Suzanne, but if you can find a link, get Marie's number, and let's discuss it tomorrow. I'd like to look into it.
And if she does get laid off, my God, the job market hasn't been better. You should be able to find another job quickly.
Well, I want to know what their conditions are, though. That's the main thing. But I know what her concern is. If she gets laid off, can she make the payments? And again, Mark, it might say they make minimum payments, they make it for a certain time. I doubt they'd pay off the balance. That's why I need to see the contract. I can't evaluate it based on her understanding of what it is. Beatrice, what do you have to say about the royal wedding?
Well, I just wondered if you had any questions you needed answered. I'd be very happy to answer them for you.
Oh, I can't believe where she's possibly from.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter where I'm from. I'm just here to answer your questions, Tom.
Okay. All right. Why is a monarch still in existence in today's world?
Because the majority of the United Kingdom and we like the monarch. We like them and we respect them.
But why?
And we think they're doing an extremely good job, actually.
But why?
What do you mean, why? Why have you got a president? The monarch, I don't want to argue with you. I'm just saying, you know.
You think they do a great
like
job.
them and we're satisfied with them. What else did you want to know about their friends?
Oh, why do you think Oprah or George Clooney were invited other than just show and tell? And all the other celebrities. I just happen to pick those two because they have no connection to the royal couple at all.
Hang on. I think they probably do know them. They're probably good friends, and they've met them at different occasions. And there were a lot of ordinary, very, very ordinary people invited as well. I mean, I don't quite know what you really want to know, Tom. Don't you like the royal wedding? And if you don't, you're entitled not to.
I mean, some of the monarchs from way back when, I mean, they killed a lot of people.
First of all, I don't...
It's a big world, Tom. Just let me say one thing to you, and I'm honestly not annoyed with you or anything. I'm just, curious from your point of view. The Queen is 2 years older than me. I'm 90. She's 92. And I wouldn't have her job for anything in the world. She's a far better person, than you or I and an awful lot of people. Now go ahead.
What is the purpose of the monarchy?
They're like a flag, in a way.
Yes,
they represent
symbolism.
The kingdom,
mm-hmm.
Or the United Kingdom.
Yeah, but I mean, once you get Queen Mary the First, she burned people alive. Come on.
What happened about all the people here, Tom? That's a silly argument, actually.
I didn't make that argument, Beatrice. Okay, that was Mark chiming in. I wanted to know, do you feel, though, you don't feel it's a colossal waste of money, the budget, to just support them?
I don't feel it's a colossal waste of money.
And it's bestowed by birth.
Hang on a moment, please.
Yes.
I think lots of people, millions of people, enjoy the pomp and circumstance, the pageantry. Otherwise, you wouldn't have all these people all over the world watching these occasions. I think it's a terrific. I don't think it's a waste of one single penny.
I hope and pray at 90. I am seriously is on top of it as she is.
Now, I hear that it brings in a lot of tourism money. I don't know if it pays for itself, though. Do you know?
America. America brings in a lot of tourism.
No, I'm asking, does the do the British make more money than they spend on the monarchy because of tourism and all of that?
I don't think they make more money. I think they make the same as any person in their position would do.
No, I'm not talking about them. I meant, I was told that the royal family and the palace brings in a lot of tourist dollars because of their existence, and I wondered if it balanced out what the British spend in their budget to what they bring in tourism. That's what I was asking.
Well, I don't know, Tom, obviously penny for penny, because I don't know their budget. That's obvious. But I can assure you it balances out, or I don't think, honestly and truthfully, it would be going for... Get off me. Sorry, that's the dog. I don't think it would be going for all these years if it didn't balance out. Really. It must be a paying proposition, frankly.
Did you see not the mini-series, but the ongoing series called The Crown?
I've seen it a couple of times.
Do you think it's accurate?
Yeah, approximately. As accurate as anything that's on a television can be. Approximately, I think it's accurate. And if you want to see something very good, and it doesn't really matter about people who are listening because I'm talking to you, you want to see a film called, it's about the two princesses. I've forgotten what it's called now, and it's terribly good. It's so funny. I mean, it's true. It's real life. But anyhow, it's very. You probably can look it up.
I'll search
I can't
for
remember
it.
what it's called
I'll
now.
search for it. Okay. And are you still going back and forth? Do you go back and forth?
Well, I'm 90, but I do go back. My last time was about 3 years ago. But I'm very keen on the royal family, and you know, I think the Queen is terrific, and all those young people. I mean, they're a pretty good representation. They really are. They really, in truth, they are.
Oh, no, that one guy was partying pretty hard in Vegas.
I couldn't resist answering your question.
Is it it is the longest-running monarchy in the world, obviously.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
Well, the Queen Mother was 102, so I've got a bit of luck, a long way to go, haven't I, with a bit of luck?
Well, you sound pretty healthy. What brought you to America?
I have children and family here.
Were they educated here or there?
No, in England.
So do most people in England, or the people that you know in your circles, do you feel that there's widespread support for the royal family and for that system?
Well, I must tell you, Tom, this is probably going to make you laugh. It doesn't matter. I belong to a group. It's called the Daughters of the British Empire. And I know we don't actually have an empire, but you have an awful lot of English people who really do a very, very... They like royalty, and they're here all over America because we have chapters all over America. And you look it up, DBE. It's a very good thing, and it does good, Tom. It really does good.
I think Clint's a charter member.
Do you know? Okay. Do you know if the royal family is opposed by anyone in government? Has there ever been anyone in the House of Commons or in the?
I'm sure there have been. I'm absolutely sure there have been things that have been in America, anywhere in the world. There's always opposition.
I'm just wondering if it's been, though, ever controversial and discussed in England or in Britain as to whether or not they should continue.
Actually, now that you say it, it may have been right after the war, after World War II, because it was a lot of money going to the royal family. But they did an awful lot of work, Tom. I mean, I was only a child, but they were everywhere. You know, they did a lot of work, and they're figureheads. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're a very smart man, and actually, I must tell you, I just came in from shopping, and I thought, I've just got to answer this man.
No, I like it. I want to... Do they have any actual power that you know of, or mostly just influence?
No, they have prestige. Parliament has the power.
Right,
here,
but can they influence government? Have they influenced decisions?
I don't think so. They may have years and years, hundreds of years ago, but nowadays it's just the same as the American stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the same thing. It really is. Look, they don't really have power. They honestly don't, because it's all done by voting.
Right.
It's a democracy.
Yeah.
Like here. And I must tell you, I love living here, but I'm still a royalist.
I love talking to you, Beatrice. Hold on. Hey, Suzanne, get her number, please, so we can contact her again if we have any questions. I hope she's still on. I love talking to her. Boy, she's intelligent. And she represents herself. Adam, what is your comment on Beatrice?
Hey, Mark and Tom, you guys kick butt day after day, but you just got your ass kicked by a 90-year-old woman.
By Beatrice. No, she answered my questions. I was respectful to her. I mean, I don't know why you consider that an ass kicking. She just gave me a tongue lashing saying that, well, no, she didn't. She just disagreed with me. She thinks it does great. Or not does great, but is great for the country, and she loves it. And I just think it just blows my mind. I mean, it's against everything that all of the people who preach diversity and freedom and equalism and socialism and every part of all of the stuff that progressives believe in, that is against, literally, because it's definitely not diverse. You're either born into it or you're not, or brought into it by others. And it's very exclusive.
It's a ruling class.
It's supported on the backs of others. It's everything they preach against. And they're not part of the 2%. They're part of the 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10%.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
I mean, it is against every liberal thought known to man. Right. Every liberal thought. Except for Dan.
I wanted to ask her, what about the guards? Their hats. Why do they look so goofy?
Hide their luncheon.
You don't like this? Oh.
When I was in the Vatican, I could not believe how the guards are dressed, the Swiss guards. I could not believe it. They look like clowns, man.
I know it.
I always thought that was kind of like just for show, but all of them are wearing that. It's crazy.
They got a purpose, though.
And that's the first I understood about the Swiss guards, why they're all there. They're the only ones that stuck by them back in the day.
My understanding is those guys are in there like special forces to become a Swiss guard.
Oh, they are. They're the real deal, man. Oh, no. They might look like clowns, but unless if you're well trained like me in the art of karate.
I think they're well in the art of 9mm.
You're fighting children!
Just fighting kids! Only late because I'm head of my, what do you call it, dojo.
You know,
this is all Seinfeld.
I don't know why people are shocked at what the Pope said.
Oh my God. Well, because that's a lot of Catholicism. The doctrine for thousands of years is now changed. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Was it against the Catholic Church?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you guys follow this thing?
Homosexuality used to be, yeah.
Oh, off with your head, bro.
No.
Oh, bullshit.
Deadly sin. I mean,
it was a sin.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Of course. Did you guys follow things?
And they slowly got, you know.
What was the last thing he did a couple months ago? He was on Drudge again. Every time I look, when's the last Pope that's been on Mad Drudge?
What happened? Oh, just his.
No, something was pretty big.
Oh, everybody, there's no hell.
Oh, no hell or heaven that was only a few
there's no hell.
No hell.
And Christians have been saying that for so many years, but not the Pope, you know.
Oh my God, it's not just hell and heaven, it's also purgatory.
WinkandWink.com if you have
financial difficulties due to maybe a death in the family, a divorce, maybe you lost your job, you're sinking in debt, you need a fresh start. WinkandWink.com. By all means, though, learn from it. Oh my God, we had a guy on here that went bankrupt, and then a few years later, got right back into debt, and he can't go bankrupt because he did it already. And it's like he's waiting for that to expire so he can do it again. It's such a problem. Mike and Gigi Wink are there to help you. Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, again, I hope you don't need them. And they also can help with debt settlements. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com. All right, give us a call if you have a problem, question, or complaint. We were talking about the royal family, and Beatrice called in. Boy, was she well put together on representing the monarchy and royalty, and she just flat out, I mean, I didn't really know what to say to her. I mean, because I don't have anything, I don't have a strong argument other than it just seems ridiculous to me. I mean, really, that's all. It's not democratic at all. It's a monarchy, but yet it's a monarchy. What's even more weird, it's a monarchy which denotes rule by one, monarchy, yet they don't have power. So it's not truly a monarchy, it's just royalty. Royalty without power. So then why royalty? Well, royalty comes from birth. And here in America, if you truly, talk to Oprah, and if I told her I believe someone is better and should be taken care of by the government and should be billionaires because they're born into a family, she would, if I wanted to pick the Trump family or any family and say we should support them because I feel they are royal, I mean, my God, I mean, that it is foreign to everything every progressive thinks about every day of their lives. There is no spreading of the wealth. There is a monarchy. It's one family. I mean, I don't have a personal axe to grind. I'm not going to go out and try to end it. Who cares? But they spend $1 billion a year to support a family, and the only qualification is that you are born into it.
In that bloodline, granted, a long time ago, some of them were, in my opinion, savages. Bloody Mary was crazy, man.
Well, yeah, and truly, that's the past, obviously, and that's without getting into that. But you're right. When they talk about the America paying reparations to the slaves, what about the reparations Britain should pay for everything they've done through their monarchies? What about the monarchy or the royal family paying reparations for everything they did over their lives? So that's all. I was just saying that it's counterintelligent to popular thinking nowadays. If you believe, in diversity, and you believe in truly it's wrong to concentrate wealth in just one area. They're doing every one of those things. And then they have their royal wedding, and they spend $2.7 million on it. Her dress could feed kids for years. Could you imagine ever if anybody in America did that at all, not even with taxpayer money, but alone with their own money? They would say, what are you doing? How dare you do that? They decry the decadence every day of people. And they talk about how Wall Street burns money and how these guys used to have their toga parties on their yachts. They did it with their own money. They didn't do it with anyone else's money. Royalty does it with taxpayer money on hard-working people in England. And I don't know how they justify having a starving child somewhere in their so-called empire while she spent $270,000 on a wedding dress. Doesn't it seem anti-liberal to you? Yet every liberal in the entire world wanted to attend or had their eyes glued to it. And the only people I heard talking against it were so-called conservatives. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how that happens? And by the way, don't try to label me one thing or the other, because I flip-flop depending on the issue. But it also happens when it comes to, so-called diversity, the acceptance. They won't accept like a fundamentalist Christian is not diverse. They're terrible people. But a Muslim, that's wonderful. They're diverse. That's their belief. But it doesn't matter politically what they do. If Catholics kill people in Ireland, we go crazy about it. But if you have beheadings in the name of Islam, they accept it. They don't accept it, but you never hear them decry it like they do if it happens on the other side.
Or the stoning of women.
All I'm saying is I'm tired of hypocritical thinking. It doesn't matter who does it, whether they're conservative or liberal. On the conservative end, here they say they don't want to control people, the government should be out of everything, and then they're the first ones to want government to control morality and stuff. So you have hypocritical thought on each side. But this royal wedding really, really spelled it out to me. I mean, I couldn't believe how it was embraced around the world, with all the starving and misery going on in the world, that we would celebrate a $2.7 million wedding. And if you count all the money spent on it with TV coverage and news coverage, it gets into the billions and billions of dollars. Why? Because that kid was born into a family, just born into it. And because of that, he became special. And he decided to marry a woman, and she becomes special for no other reason other than they're born into it. Yeah, that sounds like socialism to me. I mean, doesn't that sound great to you? Anyway, but more people agree with Beatrice than me. They think that royalty is wonderful. They think it's.
I think it works the same way in North Korea. They keep passing it down to their kids.
I don't know how that guy got in power, but I don't think
his dad was in power.
Now listen. But it's amazing though how they pick. Well, he's an evil guy. I mean, the royalty in England now, they're not evil like.
No, I didn't say that.
I mean, but that's a different story. By the way, Stan, the HOA man, he has his collar. If you want to go on this website, find out about his forum tomorrow night from 6 to 9. If you're tired of HOAs and you want to do something about it, he's there, and he's like a lone voice in the wilderness talking about, HOAs that are power hungry and run away with power. And it's really important, if you live in an HOA controlled community, that you take part in it, because it's not going to change any other way. If you want to find out more, you have to go to his website to find out more about the workshop tomorrow night, 6 to 9. They're going to be talking about change in the laws and other things you can do to help yourself and protect yourself in an HOA community. It's ColoradoHOAForum.com, ColoradoHOAForum.com, and that starts at 6. ColoradoHOAForum.com. Don't forget referralist.com for everything you need except royal wedding supplies and information. We will not have that there. That's referralist.com. Remember, save all your problems for me.